And pardon my backwards. Get rid of fake people, I got so good. Ha, cut scissors out with the fakes, take out fake misters. And your peeps guilty by association, who crown dictator, swing tiger tail and snake you later. Dumb, 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 dumb. And live from dumb, 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 dumb. Some of them so dumb. How y'all gonna hate from the task? Rotterdam. Cold browning cause I'm feeling myself. Ha ha ha. Cold browning cause I'm feeling myself. Ha ha ha. Looking at me, missing friend applications, cut off the wannabes. Hi, nice to meet you. And you eat my dust, woo woo. And I must go. Acid tasting full of hatred. Some of you too funny for me. Dumb, 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 dumb. Some of them so dumb. How y'all gonna hate from a distance? Somewhere else. Cold browning cause I'm feeling myself. Ha ha ha. Cold browning cause I'm feeling myself. Ha ha ha. Some of them so dumb. How y'all gonna hate from the TikToks? Rotterdam. Cold browning cause I'm feeling myself. Ha ha ha. Cold browning cause I'm feeling myself. Ha ha ha. How y'all gonna hate from a distance? Somewhere else. Cold browning cause I'm feeling myself. Ha ha ha. Cold browning cause I'm feeling myself. Ha ha ha. Some of them so dumb. Some of them so dumb. How y'all gonna hate from a distance? Somewhere else. Cold browning cause I'm feeling myself. Ha ha ha. Cold browning cause I'm feeling myself. Ha ha ha. How y'all gonna hate from a distance? Somewhere else. Cold browning cause I'm feeling myself. Ha ha ha. Cold browning cause I'm feeling myself. Ha ha ha. I am your drama queen, and welcome to the drama castle. Overheard them mention hater, not a pretty word like moist or moisture. Wanna quit but you know I'm a soldier. Try to get me out, you know it's game over. Say it's toxic, chaotic, unhealthy. Always play my cards right, don't test me. I'm not here to play nice, no I can't be. And if you're trying to stop me, that's a guarantee. Too many people try to get me out, and it worked for a second, but I'm back now, better than ever. Welcome to the drama castle. I am your drama queen, and welcome to the drama castle. You try to stop me, but you can't. Too many people try to stop me, but you can't. You can't.
Oh, Schnapples. What is up, people? Schnapples. What am I, like, friggin', like, what is this, the 90s? Holy shit. It's awful. Awful. Hello. Welcome to the show. So if y'all noticed, I didn't do a stream yesterday, and I didn't even make a post about it. I'm so sorry. I was sick as a dog. Like, I was so sick. So I was just dying yesterday, but I'm okay now. I don't know what was going on with me. I had a horrible migraine, which resulted into nausea, and I was just throwing up. It was a bad time, very bad time. But hello to the chat. I see a few people typing in the chat. We had FrogTony. I ditched work for this. No, you ditched work because your ass was up till like 5 o'clock in the morning talking about I gotta go to work in an hour. Get the hell out of here. Your ass wasn't going to work. What up, Susie? How are you? Much love to Susie in the chat. We got Anthony here. Hello, Anthony. How are you? We got Lunchbox. Konnichiwa, bitches. Yes, I wanted to say it kind of like the Dave Chappelle. Konnichiwa, bitches. Dave Chappelle. So no. Okay, we're just gonna move on. Who the hell says Snapples? Me. I'm old. Old people do. Like, come on now. Why do you guys come in here? Why are you guys my moderators and you guys come in here and bully the shit out of me? Like, I got haters. You know what my haters do too? They give me money. My haters give me money to shit on me. Y'all do it for free. That's crazy. That's crazy work. What up, Jay? Evening to you. Much love. I don't think that's a brag, Tony. It's not a brag. He probably came here. He ain't even in the chat probably right now. He probably came here and left. So I'm doing good. How about you? Feeling better? Yeah, I'm okay today, man. I'm telling you, I don't know what was going on. I was dying yesterday. I'm sure y'all wish I did. Lunchbox says Ray and Glammy Lammy. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Somebody came into my chat like, you should talk about the locale live stuff more because you'll probably get more views and more. I'm like, maybe, but like, man, there ain't really nothing going on there anymore. Like, after the mic thing, like, I guess we'll keep an eye on the freaking court case this month, see if like anything comes of it. I'm sure like I'll cover it when it comes, but like, I don't want to keep milking the locale live. Like, that's just, it kind of seems counterproductive, right? Because all I'm doing now is the same thing I'm bitching about, right? So I don't want to do it too much. You guys know too, I don't like grifting. Like, I always joke about it. I'm gonna be a grifter now, but I never do it. It's just because like I don't have the same motivation to really grift topics. Like, that's my problem. And that's why I'm really hurting on YouTube, because I can't be a grifter. Like, I'm starting to realize like grifting does work. That's why everyone does it. Like, people talk shit about it. We all talk shit about it. I hate grifters when they don't actually give a shit about what they're doing. You know what I mean? But like, it works. That's the crazy thing, is it works, and it's annoying as hell. It's absolutely annoying as hell. But anyways, damn, what is going on? Notifications not going out. Like, I know I don't really care. Like, there's 3 of y'all, and I appreciate the 3 of y'all, but like, damn, I have not had a stream with this low numbers unless I'm seeing it weird on my end, because like, damn, what is going on? Where's everybody at? I figured this would be a great topic. I couldn't wait. Like, I wanted to, as soon as I caught wind of this, I wanted to stream yesterday, but I was feeling sick. Now, all of a sudden, I'm like, I got 3 people watching. Where is everybody? We're gonna hot topic my ass. I'm kidding. I'm sure people will roll in. If I didn't talk shit, it wouldn't be me. Okay, that's fair. You know, at least my moderators show up. I appreciate my moderators. Y'all always turn up, especially Lunchbox, especially Joey. Wait, where is Joey? Where is Joey? Where is Joey? The 3 Musketeers. All right. I know Scattered Knights is always here. Lunchbox is always here. Where's Gillykins? Where is my girl at? I'm surprised she ain't here. She's usually the first one here. Where's she at? Is it because I took a day off? Y'all thought I disappeared again? Is that what happened? Because I didn't stream yesterday. Y'all like, oh, she's gone again. Where y'all at? Y'all are gone. What's going on? Oh, Douglas is here. Okay, Douglas is here. Where are my regulars? Like, I'm not even impressed about three viewers, right? It's more of like, where are my regulars at? I'm missing a few regulars. That's what I'm concerned about, because I know most of y'all always here. Like, every time I stream, even if I've been gone for like 7 months a year, y'all will still come back when I stream. Right, exactly. Where's she at? Now I'm concerned. I hope she's okay. She normally don't miss a stream. It's okay. Everyone, listen, I don't expect everyone to be here every single stream, but like the regulars are like, yeah, I didn't say you want a regular. I included you into the regulars comment. First of all, you got a wrench. Most of my wrenches usually show up. Okay. But we are missing some people, and I'm concerned. Oh my God. Thank you, Dust Productions. Everyone liked the stream. Yes. Is that payment for my lines? By the way, guys, since I got y'all here, before we get into the topic, Dust Productions, he's a friend. Love him. He's amazing. He put out some videos. I don't know if you guys remember that Rican Ranger saga that I used to cover. That, you know, that fucking weirdo. right? Dust made a funny video, like it's animated, like they use some AI stuff or whatever, but they have a project going on over there. He just dropped the first part called Legend of the Broken Dragon Dagger. If you're a Power Ranger fan, I especially think y'all should check that out, especially if you guys remember the Rican Ranger drama. But Dust Production made a video, and y'all should go check that out. And guess what? Spoiler, I'm gonna be in part 2. So if y'all want to support obviously some amazing talented people on this platform, please go subscribe to Dust Production. Go watch Legend of the Broken Dragon after the stream, though. Don't go do it now. Don't do that. Okay. Do it after. And then look forward to part 2, which hopefully will be coming out soon, because I finally submitted my lines, because your girl did some acting. It's not my best work, I'm not gonna lie. It's not my best work, but it's work, okay? So that's my payment for my work. So go check out Dust Productions. Make sure you go subscribe, show him some love, because he got some haters, man. Some like crazy haters. Like, I'm not even trying to touch them haters right now. I already did my streams. I already said what I need to say. But like, they going at Dust hard. I'm talking, they made parody accounts about this man. They're just going crazy on him, all because he had an opinion that differed from somebody else, and a meme that he had really nothing to do with, but now he's just clowning on this dude. So they kind of bullying this man very much so on the internet, and he's great. He's actually a funny dude. He's an awesome dude, and he got some bullies, some crazy ass crackhead bullies that's going at him. So please go show Dust Production some love. Also, I have a community tab post. There's another YouTuber I met in a game I play, and he's just trying to get to 500 so he can get monetized. So if y'all want to go check out my community tab, again, do this after the stream, but like, go check out my community tab at the latest post I made. Go subscribe to that YouTube channel. He does like video game stuff, Minecraft stuff, whatever. But you know what? You don't have to sit there and actively watch. Just get him to 500 so he can monetize, so he can start, making some do-re-mi on this platform. Help these people out, man. We gotta help these people out. He said, okay, be right back. You're bugging, Lunchbox. If I see that number go down from 13 to 12, I swear to God, I'm going to find you, and I'm going to freaking drag your ass back to your freaking phone or wherever the hell you're watching this from. Oh, Lord, that's going to bring that motherfucker back for the pits of obscurity. Oh, man. Let me tell you. But anyways, y'all. You know what? I see these gold things. Let's try this gold thing again. We'll see. We'll do, let's see, 10 super chats for all colors. We'll do all colors because I'm not greedy. Yo, that's crazy if I did like red or higher. The fact that there's an option to do the goals for $100 tiers for super chats only is crazy. So we'll just do all colors because again, I'm not greedy. I could do $5, but I'm not greedy. So we'll do the all colors, guys. All colors of the rainbow. We'll do 10 super chats, and we'll put the timer for, I'm gonna stream for like an hour. But we'll put like 2 hours. Nah, we'll do an hour. We'll do it like an hour. Now we'll do 2 hours because who knows? You guys know how I am when I stream. Let's see. What will we celebrate? I will get boba tea. I will finally get a boba tea today. That's what y'all. That's the reward for giving me your money. Is I'm gonna get boba tea today. All right. So we're gonna set the goal. We'll do 10 super. Actually, not. Well, you know what? We'll just do. You think 10's enough, guys? You think 10's enough? I'm asking you. Should I just do 10 for the goal? We'll do 10. Again, I'm not greedy. We'll do 10. 10 should be enough for y'all. There we go. So the goal is set. Let's get that goal, y'all. Let's get that goal because I'm not a grifter, but I want money. So we gotta balance it out. So the goal has been set, and it's for all colors. So you could donate 99 cents if you're on Apple, or $1 if you're on Android or PC. So as long as we get to that 10 goal, I want to see if we can hit it because I don't think I've ever hit a goal, and I want to be an actual YouTuber, guys. So like, I'm not begging. This is not me begging. I just want to see if for once I can hit that goal. So if y'all gonna help us sister out, I will get my boba tea today. So like, oh my God, Nerdette is here. Nerdette, I was watching you when you were playing Marvel's Rivals. I hopped on and I started playing and I was killing it. I was loving the fact when I was talking about, like, you need to get a Loki on there. She's like, I'm going to be Loki. And then, yeah, they got you good. That was pretty funny. But thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. So we got to talk about this Razorfist drama. Now, if y'all ain't familiar with Razorfist, what up, Hate Nate? What up, Mr. Gamer? I see y'all in the chat. If you guys aren't familiar with Razorfist, he is a content creator. He has a pretty decent following. I'm not very much familiar with Razorfist outside the fact that he, from what I've observed, is just one of those anti-woke people now. Like, he's part of that anti-woke crowd. And he had some controversy where he was accused of having relations with a 15-year-old. I know, what a fucking shock, right? Another YouTuber accused of having an inappropriate relationship with kids. I have no idea when it'll come a time where I don't have to ever talk about something like that, but here we are. Remember how I say I just wake up every day now wondering, like, who's getting exposed for being a predator? You know? So Razorfist had that. But then this is like a weird drama, y'all. It's a weird drama. I don't even know where to like really go begin with this. So I guess that happened a few months ago, right? This whole Razorfist drama and stuff. So SmashJT, another YouTube content creator, he's been also doing the anti-woke shit too. Y'all know we talked about his case with Alyssa Mercante from former journalist at Kotaku and that whole situation. Okay. So SmashJT, he's getting up there. Like, when I first met him, he was a decent sized content creator. He's a lot bigger now. He's making moves. He's making money. And he's bumping elbows with a lot of other content creators, kind of covering the same thing, the whole Kotaku thing. Everyone jumped on that stuff. You know, people were talking about Gamergate/Goonergate, all this crazy shit, right? So why is this relevant? Well, because I don't know the relation with Razorfist and SmashJT. I wouldn't say they were friends. I'm assuming because SmashJT is a bigger content creator now, and he's bumping elbows with other bigger content creators. You know, they're on friendly terms. You know, all these communities come together. These YouTube content creators come together. And SmashJT, I guess, did a reaction video 3 months ago, mind you, 3 months ago, about the accusations surrounding Razorfist, right? And I guess Razorfist just caught wind of this. He just recently caught wind of this, and he crashed out. He crashed out. And we're going to watch his crash out because just for some reason, I don't know why everyone crashes out and they do it publicly, but it's good for content. So yes, I had to make a Twitter account, y'all. And no, I'm not making it public. I'm not using it for, you know, Twitter. I just had to make it because I'm not allowed to see certain things on Twitter without an actual account. So I had to make one just so we could react to this video. And yeah. This is Razorfist making a 20-minute video, almost 20-minute video, about SmashJT making a reaction video or doing a reaction stream, whatever, which was funny because SmashJT was reacting to Kino Casino, another YouTube content creator, covering the Razorfist stuff. So it was a reaction of a reaction, reacception. And this is what got him having this crash out. And it's beautiful. We gotta watch.
This will be the one and only time I've ever addressed these fatuous accusations. On the subject of defamatory nonsense, particularly promulgated by the Perma Online Brigade, I tend to hold with a quote from the great John Milton. The best apology for false accusers is silence, sufferance, and honest deeds set against dishonest words. But
by the way, I'm sorry, I forgot to do something. Before we get into this, I want to point out what he said here, right? After years foregoing drama due to lies and libel of others, it appears I'll be ending a few YouTube careers this week. The fact that anyone who is this narcissistic, and yes, I know we throw that word out. That's been like a culture word now. Everyone throws out narcissist, but there's a reason why I'm going to say that. And then again, there's other videos that we're going to respond to and react to kind of go with my whole he's probably a narcissist thing, right? The fact that he is so narcissistic to think that he alone could end other people's YouTube careers is crazy. That's a bold statement, number one. Because like, okay, so somebody came out with accusations against you. There has been video evidence of certain accusations against him, and people are reacting to it, responding to it. And like his response is, I'm going to end your YouTube career. This dude is friggin' insane, right? No one who doesn't deserve it. It's just a shame some people can't seem to hold a gun without putting it in their own mouths. Now back to the rants. That's where we are, guys. That's where we are. That's what this dude is.
I also knew that while the accusations were libelous and shockingly simple to disprove, they were also entirely too lurid for some talent-bereft drama hump and half-wits not to make the mistake of attaching their channels, reputations, and indeed their entire careers to, after which I would drop my reams upon reams of receipts and end their careers overnight. So I hope you fellas enjoyed the 2-week victory lap I allowed you all to have, because now karma comes to collect. And if you thought Pro Jared had receipts to prove his innocence, buckle up, bitch. Fortunately for me, I don't even really need all of that exculpatory proof to disprove the most serious of these claims, because
again, he made the SmashJT made the friggin' thing like 3 months ago. 3 months ago. SmashJT did a 5-hour stream last night covering this response, right? And defending himself, right? Again, if you don't like SmashJT, I get it. It's fine. SmashJT, you gotta take him with a cup of he's a cup of tea. You gotta take him with a grain of salt. But it's kind of funny that the whole point is like SmashJT reacting to this, or even like questioning him about it. Like, he just kicked the hornet's nest. Like, he thinks that, oh, after this video, guys, SmashJT and all these other people, their careers are going to be over. Like, no, dude. No, dude. That's not how it works. And also, like, bro, if like the fact, let me stop. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm literally getting ahead of myself. I've never seen Razorfist in color. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna be a wild one.
As many of my fans have already helpfully pointed out, the available timeline already disproves them. If I were to allege that Elon Musk robbed a jewelry store on June 13th at 6:00 p.m., seems to me step one in establishing or annihilating that allegation would be to check the surveillance footage on June 13th at 6:00 on the dot. So, as internet sleuths have already deduced, due to the age and birth date of the accuser, in order for this relationship to have occurred when they say it did, I would have had to be dating this person in or throughout 2015. Any later than this, and the entire timeline collapses. Fortunately for me, 2015 was also significant in that it's the same year I began streaming in earnest. The name of that series is Razorfist Arcade, and the entire thing is publicly available in a single handy playlist on my channel's front page, and has been since 2015. In fact, if you click on
what the fuck does this have to do with you dating? So I'm so confused. Like, he's throwing out numbers, and maybe it's just because his fucking voice is insufferable, which is coming from me, who has an insufferable voice. But like, bro, you're hitting everyone with all these numbers. The timeline, guys, the timeline, it doesn't make sense. And the birthday of the fucking person who everyone's saying was underage, it doesn't make sense. Because, guys, I started streaming at this date, at this time. Look at the page, look at the date, the timeline. Yo, the fact that he's talking so fast and throwing out all these numbers, and it's like, it's already confusing. It's like he's trying to confuse you guys and get you guys thrown off. Be like, look at the timeline, look at the timeline. I'm gonna throw dates at you. And it gets worse, right? Because I watched some of this with FrogTony last night with some other people when this dropped. All this drama was happening live, and we had some points that I'm also gonna bring up again here, because like a lot of it gets worse. Like, his defense gets so fucking worse.
Only the third video on that playlist, a live stream of the game Thief 4 that originally aired on March 18th, 2015, you can disprove these allegations within about 30 seconds. Because at that point in the video, a woman's voice can be heard.
Do you ever plan on playing or reviewing the original Dark Souls?
Yeah, I've heard the original Dark Souls is a lot better than 2. Hold on, there is actually... My lady just hurt herself. There is actually a way to get...
The identity of the voice? My actual girlfriend at the time. A 26-year-old white woman with a high soprano voice, as contrasted with the lower Latina voice of the accuser. She was my earliest co-host on Razorfist Arcade. She interacted fairly and warmly with my audience, hence why they affectionately named her Lady Fist, which is why I find it so unctuous that drama-humping douchebags found it necessary to write her out of existence in order to forward a false narrative about a relationship I was not in at this time.
I want to point out his argument for those of you who are confused. His argument is like, how could I have been in this relationship with this alleged minor while I was in a relationship with a 26-year-old white woman? What? Does this man not know that cheating is a thing? Does this man know that there are people who do have multiple relationships with people, and the people that they're in relationships with don't know each other exist? Does he forget that cheating is still a relevant thing? Like, does this man think that this is his argument, guys? How could I have been in a relationship with a minor while I was in a relationship with an adult? Like, oh my God. If I was this man's lawyer, I would say, take this down immediately. That is a bad argument.
One of the worst mistakes a defamation merchant can make when inventing a lie about someone is to include a third party in the lie who can gainsay your story. In this case, my current co-host and longtime editor, Taryn Bell, was there the entire time and can confirm I was with Ladyfist not only in 2015, but for several years thereafter. We started streaming in 2015.
Yeah.
You became co-host shortly after that. So there's streams from like February and March where she's the co-host. After you became co-host, do you remember her still being in the picture?
Absolutely. You would often see her this would be back in your old place, that she'd be in the back chilling on the bed. She'd go in and out or whatever.
Right.
But she was still there.
And she would chime in sometimes on streams.
Oh,
I seem to
absolutely.
remember.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
So-
you would invite her to.
Right. So would you say that she was still in the picture for like only a month or two after that? Or would you say that was like for a year or more?
Definitely a year or more. She was there for a while.
Right.
Ladyfist was a Caucasian female, very, very pale woman.
Even
Okay, again, bad fucking argument. Hey guys, I couldn't have been dating a minor at this timeline, right? Because I was already in a relationship with a 26-year-old woman. A white woman. Okay? And my friend here, my editor, who I've known for a long time, who is still currently my friend, is gonna confirm and collaborate that yes, I was in a relationship. But sir, here's the thing that again does not absolve you from the accusations here, because so what? So all your friend is doing is confirming that you were in a relationship with Ladyfist. Cool. That doesn't mean that he was aware of any other relationships you were having, and I highly doubt that you would let any of your friends know that you were talking to some other chick. Or at least people who know your lady and risk her finding out. So that's also a nothing burger of evidence that you're putting out there. Like, so what? Your friend is confirming, yes, you were in a relationship with Ladyfist at the time. That you were allegedly also having relationships with somebody else who was under the age of 18. That doesn't prove shit. It just proved that you were in a relationship at the time and you potentially, possibly were cheating with other girls, let alone the one you're accused, probably others. Because I'm telling you, if this is true, right? And I'm putting an if, I don't know. This man thinks he can end careers. I know the laws too, sweetheart. I'm saying if. This is me giving my opinion. This is an opinion based on information publicly available. And I'm just giving my opinion on that. I'm not putting facts behind it. So what if, right? He is having a relationship with one girl. He's probably talking to a bunch of others, right? And considering that, you wouldn't want the lady that you're with, living with, to find out. So you would tell pretty much, if anything, you're going to tell the least amount of people, if anyone at all, right? You're not going to tell people that you're talking to the girls while you have a girlfriend. So again, your editor, your friend, that was nothing. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Sure, I'll support your addiction. I appreciate it. We got one. We got to hit the goal. We need 9 more. 9 more. And yes, he is an enabler. Do not detract my enablers from giving me money for boba tea. I never trust a man who more dyed hair than Glendon. Yes. His friends are biased as fuck. They don't count. Also, that's also another point. Like, your friend's not going to just believe these accusations right off the bat. Like, let's keep it a buck. If you have a friend who have you known for a long time, all of a sudden is being accused of being a groomer or all these other things, you're not going to believe it because, first of all, as a friend, you haven't seen it, right? And you might have not seen the signs that imply this person's that. All you know is good old Razorfist. He pays me, to do this job. I make good money. He seems like a good guy. I've hung out with him. He seems normal. He could never be what these people are saying. A friend is gonna have so much denial, right? So using your friend as evidence is not going to work either, because again, we don't the friend that's probably not going to know that he's talking to some underage girl. Like, come on. All right, fucking Dr. Disrespect 2.0.
After Taryn Gell settled into the co-host role, Lady Fist remained a fixture of arcade live streams in the years that followed, albeit only in the background. In fact, when I recorded a recreation of the Shadow radio drama entitled The Immortal Murderer, cast in the role of Margot Lane, as the credits will confirm, and your own ears will as well, was none other than Lady Fist.
No, take it easy, Commissioner. It's easy.
I just want to point out, all this man keeps saying, if you haven't paid attention, we're only like, what, a few minutes in? We're 4 minutes into this video, almost 5 minutes into this video. And all he has used for evidence is, hey guys, this didn't happen because I was in a relationship at the time. Douglas says, is there any evidence to back up this 10-year-old accusations? Yes, there have been a lot of things put out there that definitely make it seem like he was definitely guilty of this. However, like, my point is, right now, it's his response that's making me suss him out. This is why I'm sussing him out. This for me is evidence that he might be guilty of what he was accused of, because the fact that he's using these really bad arguments instead of facts, like showing actual evidence outside of the fact that, hey, I was in a relationship at the time these accusations came out. Like, I was in a relationship with somebody who is of adult age. How could I be messing around with a minor while I'm dating an adult? That's his argument. That is not a good argument. Because again, you're taking away the fact that, hey, you do know that you can still cheat on your partner, right? Hello, Dr. Disrespect. Hello. Cheating still exists, people. So the fact that for 5 minutes he has been focused on the fact that he has been in a relationship with Lady Fist, his ex-girlfriend, who, by the way, has some shit. We're going to get into that too, because there's more to this story, guys. All right? But the fact that he is focusing on he was in a relationship at the time he was in a relationship with this other girl is insane. That's why, for me, this is evidence that he might actually be guilty, because this is a bad argument. If you're innocent, right, you bring the facts of why you're innocent. This is not a fact of why you're innocent. This is not even it has no value. This would not hold up in a court of law. A judge would even tell him that. His lawyer would tell him that. Yeah, you being in a relationship with an adult does not change you being in relationships with other people. And thank you again for another $10. A little more enabling. Thank you. We're at 2. We're at 2, guys. We're at 2. Oh my God. Internet, don't do this now to me, please. Give it a second. My internet gotta get the bars up. I don't know why it does this randomly. Like, it starts off good and then it's like, yeah, fuck you. I hope he's at the new doctor. Maybe he's not innocent. I don't think he's innocent. This is not an innocent defense.
For you to sit there smirking, Cranston.
He's not smirking, Commissioner.
My apologies, Miss Lane. I ought to have said leering.
That episode was uploaded on Halloween, October 31st, 2016. Over a year after every imbecilic e-drama dick holster falsely alleges I was dating the accuser. And before anyone argues, well, you're clearly keeping the relationship a secret from your public girlfriend. Okay, that almost makes sense. Until you remember that I wasn't keeping Lady Fist at all private from the accused. So why, in every defamatory screenshot, in every autism-infused e-drama video in existence, in the long litany of defamatory and false allegations, is not once it claimed that I publicly dated another woman while I was supposed to be with the accuser on Razorfist Arcane live streams that thousands of people watched? Seems to me that would be item number 1 on the list of douchey things I've done if even one of these accusations were accurate.
Bro. Again, this is why I think this man is dumb. Let me just get into it. So again, if you're not understanding what he's saying here, Here's stupid defense number 2, guys. Because I didn't make Lady Fist a secret. She was very public. It was very clear I was in a relationship. I wasn't hiding her from the accuser. That don't mean shit either. You do understand that the majority of people who do cheat, the person they cheat with is also usually aware. Not always, but they sometimes are aware that the person, the man in this situation, is in a relationship and they don't care. They still gonna fuck with you. That don't mean shit either. Because for all we know, here's an example, right? Here's an example of what most people do when they're in relationships and they're cheating on their significant other, right? Lunchbox. You've been talking for a while. You really been really good to me, and I kind of like you. You're very cute, and I sense a vibe with us, And then Lunchbox's response is, "Well, what about your boyfriend?" Well, we haven't been doing really well lately, and the only reason why I'm still with him right now is because I don't really know what else to do. I don't want to hurt him or whatever bullshit people can spin, right? So this is what's called levels of cheating, right? So there's cheating without people knowing, which is usually risky because that is how you get caught, right? If both people don't know, you're going to get caught a lot quicker. Now, if one person knows, it's usually, the person you don't live with, the person that, you work with or whatever, you're cheating on them outside of home. It's easier to just tell them that you do have somebody at home and then lie about the conditions of that relationship, right? Because for all that person at home knows is everything is fine. You guys have been married for X amount of years. You got kids. So they're thinking everything's fine. You still coming home. You still sleep in the same bed. Y'all still having sex and stuff. So for all that person knows, everything is good. Right? It might not be great. You might have a little problem, but as far as all the person knows, you're still being loyal to them because you're still coming home at night, right? Now, on the other hand, the other person is aware that you're going home at night, but they're thinking you're going home at night miserable, right? And the only happiness that this other person has when they go home at night is seeing you again. So they're not going to care that you're in a relationship with somebody else. So again, this is a bad argument because, okay, so the accuser knew you were in a relationship. That doesn't mean that the relationship still wasn't happening. It doesn't mean that the relationship didn't happen. She could have been aware. You're right. The person who accused you was aware you had a girlfriend. That does not mean that they still weren't willing to talk to you or mess around with you or date you even. That's a bad argument. This is why I think this man is guilty. Because that's not a good argument of why you're innocent. Right. Women can be homie hopping. Yeah, exactly. That's a bad fucking argument. That's why I'm saying, I get it. He could be innocent. 100% he could be innocent. But there's also a possibility that he's guilty. But his arguments here are not selling me of you are an innocent man. You're not. This is not coming off as I'm innocent, bro.
There goes the timeline. There goes the accusations along with it, all after 30 seconds of research on a public test. 30 seconds of research that SmashJT and the drama parasites on the Cringe Casino couldn't be bothered to do before obliterating the last waning rivulets of their remaining credibility by committing libel and ending their own careers. And all before I...
This man's crash out was beautiful. But no, Razorfist, everything you just said does not absolve you from accusations. Everything you said is literally stupid. This is the best way to say it. This is everything he said. This is it right here.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Best way to describe what we just listened to. That's literally what he just did to everybody who has watched this rant. This video has thousands and thousands of viewers, and he just dumbified all of us.
Dropped a single private receipt, of which I have many, motherfucker. But I know what you're saying. I don't believe Taryn Miguel. After all, he's Razor's buddy. He's biased. Maybe he hallucinates Latinas into white chicks in his spare time. Maybe he's misremembering her sitting by his side for over 3 damn years. Why, without seeing her, in order to know she isn't the accuser, what we need is a vocal analysis, and I agree. So first, let's hear Lady Fist again.
There is no way you cried when Eris died.
I so did. I even have a soundtrack on my iPod, and whenever that song plays, I tear out. I have flashbacks.
But where's the accuser? All we've heard is one side. Well, fortunately for you, I have just the thing, and I think it'll help clear up a lot more than just a vocal analysis, such as why these libelous accusations emerged at all, and who, if anyone, was actually emotionally and physically abused in that relationship.
Do you think that I cannot hurt you without the power of social media? Because I promise you I can. I have a bunch of shit that'll hurt you.
Okay, nice. Another threat. Very nice.
I'm just telling you the cold hard facts. I am aware of a bunch of shit that'll hurt your feelings. So what the fuck do I need social media for if I want to hurt your feelings and make you hurt?
By the way, I want to point out, and this was pointed out to me by FrogTony, we watched this too. The choice of wording. She wanted to hurt his feelings, not destroy his career, not ruin his life. Wanted to hurt his feelings. just throwing that out there. But let's continue, because he's gonna get to a point now. He's trying to play the victim. By the way, if just to throw that out there.
So that's wow. So we're up to threat number 3. I guess 6.
That's not a threat.
4, 5 if we count the I will slit your throat or shoot you.
Yeah, because you were talking to me condescending, and I don't like that.
I was not.
In fairness, talking to someone condescending does not warrant somebody saying they want to slit your throat. Just throwing that out there.
Trying to condescend. I was trying to get off the phone and calm things down.
What part you didn't understand? Like, I want you to deactivate your Twitter. You're not allowed to stream this week, and that's going to be the deal. Otherwise,
what?
You can hang up and we'll never talk again, okay?
What?
I'm making you a deal.
Took a turn, didn't it? What you've just heard was an admission to and justification of a murder threat. One that might...
That's not what we heard. Not what we heard, sir. We heard you repeat something she said to you prior to what we just heard. She did not deny it, which is fair. But also, at the end, what we heard was her saying, if you do not deactivate social media and not stream today, then she's not going to talk to you. That wasn't a death threat. Was it a threat? Yes, it was a threat to not talk to you. But my thing is, right, is again, he's trying to paint himself as a victim here. Now, was it right what she said? But here's my biggest question. We only have part of that conversation. I'm curious what built up to that. What was the conversation? She said, I said this because you were condescending. We didn't hear that conversation. We didn't hear that conversation. And again, we are going to play a clip that his ex did post where they were having an argument, right? So again, he's leaving out a lot of context. He's leaving out context for purposely so that he can look like he's the victim. Look at this woman threatening to slit my throat and threatening to, because I'm being condescending. Look at this woman threatening me, telling me she's gonna leak stuff to hurt my feelings. She's clearly the toxic one. Now, she could be. She 100% could be. I don't know these people from a hole in the wall. But I do know that when you are dealing with narcissists from experience, when you're dealing with narcissistic people, it does tend to turn you into a very toxic person. You become a person you never thought you could be or would be. Now, again, I don't know these people. It could be that. She could just be a toxic person. She could herself could be a narcissist. But the fact that he has already, in the first 5 minutes of this video, put up bad arguments in his defense of accusations of him about him dating a minor, right? Number one. Number two, him playing a clip about his ex, who he's using his ex also to debunk the accusations of him dating a minor, but also villainizing her at the same time. Look at all of these women. Look at how awful they are. That's what he's doing. That's what he's trying to put out there. And a bunch of women-hating men And yes, there are going to be a bunch of women hating men are going to feel sorry for him because like, yeah, I've been there, dude. Yes, okay, a lot of men been there where they have to deal with arguments with women. Yes, women can be crazy. We are emotional. We are very emotional beings. And our emotions kind of make us a little crazy. It's a thing, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're toxic. It's not a 24/7 thing. We just have emotions. It's like a roller coaster for us. You know, especially when we're dealing with men who are completely the opposite of us, it does collide. It doesn't necessarily make every woman toxic. It means that there needs to be more communication and not just arguing, like actual communication, not being afraid of actually talking to your partner about things that you know your partner might be upset about, but like be calm. Try to hear each other out, but people can't do that because we're normal. We're human beings. We all have toxic traits. We all get into arguments with our significant other with stupid shit. So, like, again, I want to point out he is using that clip to not only paint his ex, who I think, I don't know if it's Lady Fist or not, but he's trying to paint his ex. Yeah, I think it's Lady Fist. He's trying to paint his ex as a villain, but also he's going to use her as evidence as to why the accusations of him messing around with a minor is not true. You know what I'm saying? Make this make sense, guys. Make this make sense.
My ex is.
I also want to point out, too, before we get into this part, right? I'm sorry, I had to pause again because my thing is, sir, if you're trying to use your ex-girlfriend, your 26-year-old white woman of an ex-girlfriend, to debunk accusations that you were messing around with a minor, it's probably a better idea to not try to villainize her, to paint her as crazy, because that kind of makes her credibility kind of go down south a little bit. Just saying.
A gun owner actually possessed the means to carry out, might I add. On one occasion, she threatened to murder my wheelchair-bound father, my former.
Okay, here's apparently Lady Fist's text message. I took them seriously. I did nothing wrong. I'll kill you and everyone you love. You did everything wrong. You need to be more interesting, engage with me in a good conversation. And that's worth death threats, name calling, attacks, break up, say anything you want, come back. You see, here's the thing. Again, he's going to use this woman. This screenshot is bad, right? If this is real, which I'm not going to say it's not real. I believe him on that. Women be crazy, okay? But the fact that he's using this before, like he's using this now to say, look, my ex was crazy. My ex was crazy. But yet, this crazy woman who is threatening to kill everyone that I love and myself is also going to clear me of the accusations that I was messing around with the 15-year-old girl or however old she was. I know she was under the age of 18. Thank you, Lunchbox, for another $10 super chat. Okay, I won't. Wait, what's going on? Lunchbox, do not give Ray more money. You know the fact that he fell for that is crazy, and I know he doesn't care. He's having fun with it, but like, don't give Ray more money, and then he gives me more money. Susie, thank you. See, women are master manipulators. Look, she convinced Lunchbox to get me to 3 super chats. So right now, I guess if my math is correct, we just need 7 more, guys. You don't have to do $10, by the way. You could just do $1. I just want to hit that goal once. Just once. It would be very nice. Thank you. But yeah, this shit's a hot mess.
Roommate, who you all knew as More McGill, and she even threatened to shoot and kill the dog we picked out together, Cicero. Now, that might seem extreme, unless, of course, you've heard names like Jodi Arias or Amber Heard, because after ending the relationship following an actual murder attempt, that my ex had been diagnosed with BPD and HPD. And if that sounds at all familiar, it's because it's the same cocktail of mental illnesses that Amber Heard has. At which point I studied the condition at length, chiefly with a book called Stop Walking on Eggshells, the introduction for which says in so many words, run! And after she attempted to make good on her threat to murder me, having already threatened to invent a...
You'll never be respected by me. That flew out the window, and I'll gladly... Yikes. I do not love you, and I never did. I cheated on you 4 times. Yikes. So here's my thing that's crazy. This man is comparing himself to Johnny Depp. Why do y'all do this? Why do y'all do this? Why do y'all do this? Why do y'all gotta compare yourself to Johnny Depp? That's
panoply
crazy.
of lies about me to embarrass me in public, as you just heard her admit to over a phone call, I finally resolved to do exactly that. But even after finally extricating myself from this emotionally and physically abusive relationship, the threats of blackmail intensified and finally escalated to action. If you watch the Johnny Depp trial, you have some faint notion of what I dealt with for over a year. False accusations, which the accuser actually bragged about inventing and spreading.
Every tweet, hold on. I dare you to make any move on social media. Every tweet you make, every post on Instagram, every live stream, every video, every Facebook status will be met with a story about you and screenshots to add. And they're good stories about things you've done. Why are you threatening me? So she's not saying, see, this is what I'm saying. This is what makes this whole situation weird for me. Okay. He's like, she said here that she's going to make up false accusations against me. She's going to make up stories. She's not sitting here saying she's making up stories. She says, and I quote, every status will be met with a story about you and screenshots to add. So she's not making up a story. She's going to add screenshots, right? And they aren't good stories about things you've done. That doesn't read to me like she said, I'm going to make up stories. I'm going to make up some if she said, I'm going to tell some bullshit stories that people are going to believe because, like, I'm a woman. Boom. She's saying that she has stories and screenshots to add, right? She's not saying she's going to make them up in this screenshot. You can't say that she said that, right? Again, misdirection. Nice try. We smarter than that. We big brained over here. This is why I don't believe him, man, though. And on top of that, you hear how he's freaking out and screaming and yelling. I get being mad about it, but here's the thing. This situation happened a while ago, okay? This situation happened a while ago. Yes, people are forever. The internet's forever. Once it's out there and you're a public figure, it's never going to go away. People are going to believe what they want to believe, Razorfist. I hate to break it to you, but that's just the reality of it, right? So, perfect example. There's a YouTuber I knew who's called a P word for the longest time. Till this day, that dude still gets called a P word sometimes, right? It's been years since that situation happened with the lolicon thing, right? For this YouTuber, right? It's been years, right? He's still active on YouTube. Some people still try to bring that up to him till this day. And I told that YouTuber because I knew that the allegations weren't true, right? I know that this person isn't into lolly. They just were just stupid. They made a dumb decision back in the day. Okay, that's my opinion on it, right? But and I'll talk about that some other time. But basically, what it comes down to, what I'm trying to say is no matter what, whether the accusations are true or not, unless there has been a conviction, right? The people are going to believe whatever they're going to believe, regardless, right? And again, you have to prove damages. How did this hurt your reputation? How did this hurt your money? Right? Now, you could go to court, take people to court for any reasons you want, but it all depends on are you going to win that court case. Do I think he would win a court case? No, because at this point, it's he said, she said, right? But my thing is, just let it go. Stop addressing it all the time. It shouldn't be hurting you, right? I mean, it hurts you. Yeah, nobody wants to be falsely accused of, but like at the end of the day, it's 50-50. You have people who believe you and people who don't. You can't change that. You can't change that. You weren't convicted of any crime. I don't know what to tell you, dude. You know, Dr. Disrespect is still going strong after his allegations. Okay? He's still going. You either believe that Dr. Disrespect is innocent or you believe he's guilty. But you know what Dr. Disrespect isn't doing right now? He's not talking about it all the time. And I guarantee you, he has so many people in his comment sections and chat still calling him a predator, bro. So I just think that you kind of just shouldn't have done this video. Don't add fuel to the fires, because that's literally all you did is give all these, what did he call them? Drama, douche nickels, whatever the fuck he called them. You're giving them content, bro. You're giving them a reason to keep talking about you.
Privately leaked recordings, absent context of any kind, where she suddenly puts on a little Bo Peep voice and pretends she didn't initiate an argument entirely, often with preceding physical abuse. It's Johnny Depp and Amber Heard all over again. And a baffling number of leering retards took Amber Heard's side without once engaging in the aforementioned 30 seconds of research required to disprove them, all because they were felted by a fucking tweet.
Oh my God, dude. The Amber Heard argument. Let's dive into that again, y'all, real quick. Come on, let's go back to it. Sir, the only reason why people believed Amber Heard at the beginning, right, is because she made an article, right? She wrote an article and it was implied that she was referring to Johnny Depp, which started this whole thing, right? So Johnny Depp was like, no, that didn't happen. And yes, everyone did believe her because it's a common thing when it comes to celebrities these days. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but like a lot of them have been guilty for the things that they were accused of, right? So we were living in an era where a lot of people were being accused of stuff that they actually did in Hollywood. So when Amber Heard came out, of course, you know, the common thing, human nature is like, yeah, maybe Johnny Depp is kind of a problem because everyone kind of knew Johnny Depp had a little bit of an issues. He had a drinking problem. He had a drug problem. These were not secrets. So usually when you have somebody who has an alcohol problem and a drug problem, the chances of them being a little abusive and kind of toxic is kind of up there. It's kind of high up there on the totem pole, right? So we have that. So that's why everyone believed Amber Heard. Then what happened? See, this man likes to leave out context. Then what happened, guys? Come on. I know a lot of y'all remember it. Yes, I know, Tony. We can get to that in a second. Anyways, what happened after that? Right? Johnny Depp released a video. Just like Razorfist just released a video. Right? And it turned out Amber Heard wasn't being 100% truthful because we have audio of her admitting to hitting Johnny Depp, which changed there. That's what split everybody because everyone was on Amber's side. Everybody was on Amber Heard's side before Johnny Depp released that audio, right? Before Johnny Depp released that recording. Then everybody said, uh-oh, maybe we got it wrong. And that is when the whole Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing, right? So again, whether you are Team Amber Heard or Team Johnny Depp, I will say this until I'm dead in the ground whenever this topic comes up, okay? Both of them were toxic for each other. Johnny just left the relationship, went on with his life. Amber Heard kind of did too until she decided to open her mouth, right? And then this all came into fruition. They were both toxic in that relationship. Now, who was the abuser? Who was the one who was at fault? I don't know. I wasn't in their relationship. But I will say this. Johnny Depp loved his wife. Johnny Depp loved Amber Heard, and they had a very bad relationship. He loved her so much that even though he was being hit by her, physically abused by her, he didn't want to make that public, and he could have, but why didn't he? Because he just wanted to move on with his life until Amber Heard decided to talk, and then he said, well, fuck, now I gotta say something because now I'm losing my jobs over this because people are believing this chick like she wasn't the one hitting me as well, you know. So again, him comparing himself to Amber Heard, nah, dude, I don't see it because again, there is two sides of every story. And we're hearing his version of recollecting events, and they don't align with the other side of the story. You know what I'm saying? Now, Tony, if you want to come on and tell me why I'm getting shit confused, go ahead. Come on. I see you in the back. You might as well just hop on here. Or you want me to do it?
I didn't want to interrupt.
Thank you. But what's going on? Thank you.
I think you're confused, and I just wanted to pop in briefly because he dated. Okay, the chick that's accusing him, he dated that chick. The part of the accusations is that he started dating her when she was 15.
Right.
So he's saying that he had. So Lady Fist isn't the one he's showing the messages from. It's the chick that's accusing him. He keeps saying my ex and not clarifying which ex he's talking about, and that's why I think you're confused. But
okay, yeah, because he's talking in circles. Like he's been talking in circles. So the audio clip we listened to was the chick accusing him, the chick that that said that she started dating him when she was 15.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And then the screenshots are also from that girl. So he admits he did date the chick. He just is denying he dated her when she was 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's saying that she's making all that up and all the accusations. That's why he's showing like how crazy she is because that's the accuser chick. The Lady Fist.
Oh, okay.
That's why he's like, I was with this other chick. That's why I couldn't have started dating the second chick. And so that's why he did all that. But again, he could have been dating the both of them at the same time. He could have been talking to one online while he was actually dating the other one, you know.
Right, that's what I said. So okay, thank you for clearing that up because like yeah, when he started this, it was very confusing. If you did 30 seconds of research, motherfucker, I don't want to have to sit here and do research on you about you fucking potentially dating a 15-year-old. Talking to a 15-year-old, bro.
Before I leave, because I don't want to interrupt your show anymore, but I will say that if someone made an accusation like that against me, like, hey, Tony was dating this 15-year-old chick, why wouldn't you immediately squash that? Like, no, I'm going to wait months and months to let people hang themselves and make fools of themselves. And one day I'll just come out and Like, because public perception, regardless of if this is true or not, right? Public perception for 3 months has been that he's a groomer. And there will still be people, just like there's still people right now who believe Amber Heard, right? Because of the overwhelming nature of everyone being against him, there will be people that will be against him still and still think that he is this type of person, regardless of any evidence or truth, because he allowed it to go on for so long. This is the worst strategy ever. And
100%. That's what I said. I'm like, this whole thing is dumb. Like, why? Yeah. And that's why I said, I'm like, Dr. Disrespect still has people calling him a pedophile, and he's still doing his thing. Like, they're never going to stop. Like, doing this doesn't stop people from having an opinion. He's just doing this, trying to like do damage control. I mean, if you want to say, you can say. I don't really care. It's up to you. If you're having more fun watching, but you could do that too.
I was just eating some yogurt and watching.
You're just eating some yogurt and watching. Okay, well, you can stay if you want. That's fine.
I've seen screenshots of the Twitter hack that are now being bandied about as evidence of this. Problem being, my ex actually refuted those allegations herself in other screenshots, which I posted as proof. So either...
Hold on. What the fuck? LOL. Obviously, this is whatever. I thought it was you. Was kind of confused. Nah, and Razor wouldn't say something like that to me. That's fucking pathetic. What the hell's going on? I don't know what's this conversation.
She was lying on the first occasion, or she was lying on the second. In any case, a proven and inveterate liar. But the blackmail did exist. And here again, on the subject of the entire underage narrative being nothing but a coordinated blackmail and smear campaign, indeed, for an admission of the fact that all of my girlfriends, including her, were very much of age, I don't want you to believe me. I want you to believe her.
I haven't leaked anything. I haven't mentioned anything. I haven't messaged anyone. I haven't,
The word for that is blackmail. When you threaten to do it. And that was my entire point to begin with. This crap about me being a predator and a pedophile. How freaking dare you? My girlfriends have been my age or older.
I know.
But here's the hilarious part.
Pause it.
I know. That's all she said is I know. My girlfriends have been. I know. Like what? We need more than that, my boy.
No, because that word girlfriend is carrying a lot of weight. Okay? Because again, he could have been messing around with this chick, and she wasn't technically his girlfriend, right? My girlfriends have all been my age. But the chicks I've been fucking on the side haven't been. The chicks I've been picking up after school for one-night stands haven't. See what I'm saying? Like, the idea that his girlfriends are overage doesn't disqualify the fact that he could have been messing around with other chicks that weren't his girlfriend.
Right. That's what I'm saying. His arguments are not good. Like, I couldn't have been dating this girl at this time or talking to this girl at this time because I was in a relationship. No, you still could. How could I? I didn't let Lady Fist, Lady Fist wasn't a secret. Everyone knew I had a girlfriend. Doesn't stop a chick from still fucking around with you just because they know you got a girlfriend. Sometimes it makes them want you more because you have a girlfriend. They want to steal you from that girl. So stop with this bullshit arguments. I'm glad you did correct that. I was so confused. I was so confused, dude. That whole situation, like when he even started, he's like, the timelines don't add up. And you know her birth year and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter, dude. You could still have been talking to this chick when she was friggin' 15 years old. That doesn't mean shit. Dr. Disrespect did it.
Well, that is a really interesting point that I don't think he's addressed. He said that I wasn't dating her. I wasn't, I didn't fuck her. Later on, he's going to say some other shit. But he never said I didn't start talking to her until she was an adult, right? When I first met her, she was already 18, 19, whatever the case was, right?
Right.
So why wouldn't you say that? It seems to be like a real easy thing. Hey, guys, I didn't even know her until 2018, and that she was already 20 years old by then.
Right. It's like when Dr. Disrespected the whole thing where he's just like, I wasn't talking to the individual was a minor, right? The whole word minor. And that's the thing. It's like he's saying everything but what Tony just said. Really simple. No, guys, I wasn't talking to this girl when she was 15 years old. But he probably was because he's not saying that. He's saying everything but that. You are 100% correct. 100% correct. Hello, Finbar. I see you. Welcome back to the interwebs.
It's all irrelevant. Not only did we prove that the entire timeline's impossible without a flux capacitor and plutonium.
It's not impossible.
Not only did the abuser in question admit to death threats and blackmail, not only did
doesn't really still negate the fact that you were talking to her when she was 15. If anything, she does. You know what's crazy is that whole interaction. Now that I know that that's the accuser, right? Going back to that conversation now, my apologies, y'all. My apologies. I got it wrong. Thank you, Tony, for correcting me. My thing is that now that I know that information, that still doesn't absolve you, because her being crazy, yes, she could be crazy, but that's the mentality of a young woman. That's the mentality of a young immature woman.
Did they admit they were of age while publicly lying that they were not? But by the grace of God, I had only just begun to return to my faith at the beginning of this relationship. And so, after multiple live-in girlfriends and physical relationships, I finally felt the conviction to actually wait until marriage. I have no defense. I'm simply a sinner. Oh, I intended to marry her, at least the person she was pretending to be, through a BPD technique known as mirroring, wherein they ask a lot of questions and they seem really curious and interested in your life, when in actuality, they're assembling a composite personality of all of your likes and dislikes, which they then project back at you like some kind of mirror mask. A BPD abuser has no personality or empathy of their own, and they exploit yours. The victim of said manipulation is left to think they won the jackpot, at least initially. In my case, I thought I had a traditional Christian wife willing to wait until marriage, and then a month in, the mask started to slip and she became openly abusive, both emotionally and physically. And so, for all the allegations of grooming and gooning, for all the dimwits and dipshits typing the words, "he slept with a child" in their thumbnails, not only was she of age by her own admission, I never proposed marriage, and thus we never slept together. But what?
Tony, you remember those back in the day when they had those chastity rings, right? And the ongoing joke was like, but it's okay to do butt stuff, right? Okay, so just because you didn't penetrate her and her V does not mean you didn't have any other relations with that chick. Stop the cap. I am so tired of people saying, well, I didn't have sex with her, guys. We didn't have sex. We weren't sleeping together. Sir, you can still be in a intimate relationship with a 15-year-old and not have sex with that 15-year-old. That still is gross. That still is gross. Like, well, that's like if I was 15. Well, I was gonna say that's like saying I'm 15, right? I'm 15 years old. I'm in a relationship with Tony, who is however old he is right now.
Whoa! Don't even put that out into the.
Hold on. What I'm saying is, like, okay, Tony hasn't kissed me. Tony hasn't had sex with me, but like maybe he cops the feel, right? He's copping a feel, or maybe I perform acts on him. Right? I'm not having sex with him, but I'm still 15 years old doing things that a 15-year-old shouldn't be doing with somebody at Tony's age. Now, is that still wrong, guys? I'm gonna say yeah. It's still fucking
Tony?
Gross.
This is bullshit. Yeah, no.
But I'm saying, like, it changes the argument.
Again, I think you're slightly confused, Saggy. So when he moved in with the chick, she was already of age. See, the way he talks and the way he like speeds through things, right? And doesn't like offer clarification. So he's saying that he didn't start the relationship when she was 15. And then when they moved in, he's saying now she was an adult when we were living together, and I didn't even sleep with her when she was above age, right? But again, when he started living with her, he said at the beginning of the relationship. Not when I started talking to her at the beginning of the relationship. So he could have done things with her prior to the official start of the relationship, in which would not have been legally or morally good, right?
Yep.
He's hinging everything
conversations.
He's hinging everything at when we were living together and we were in a relationship, she was an adult and I didn't fuck her then. Okay, but what happened prior, right? When did you start talking to her? When did you meet her? When did you first make contact with this person and have conversations? What were those conversations like? How did you end up getting into a relationship? Because apparently you don't just like, hey lady, I like your style, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend. This isn't like fucking a 1920s movie, right? Like he had to have been talking to her prior to this before they decided to start dating or even see if they were compatible in some sort of relationship scenario, right? So that's the heart of the matter. And he's skipping over all of that to when we were living together, she was an adult and I didn't fuck her. So clearly I'm not a groomer.
I'm going to get a little personal, right? Because again, remember how, in the beginning, I said this man could be a narcissist. The way he was typing in the post, the way he's talking in this video, other clips I've seen of his arguments with I'm assuming now this is the accused, right? Accuser. From personal experience, right? Now, I have my toxic traits. Y'all know that, right? But when I was in a narcissistic relationship, when I say that a lot of the stuff, because I'm sure he has recordings of me freaking out on him. But the thing that's always funny is like, they don't ever say why, right? Let me give you an example of my experience being a woman who is kind of said similar things that this chick is to him, and why that happens. Because again, we only have his recollection of events. We don't have what led up to that, right? Because I don't always want to believe that people are just crazy for no reason. I like to be like, nah, there's a reason for it, right? So my situation that happened was my ex, I had found out, was living a double life with another woman. We were on the outs for a while, right? And there was a couple times towards the end where, like, I was still trying to work things out. He clearly wasn't. I was, in that phase of denial. If you ever dealt with narcissistic abuse, you understand. So basically, one instance is when I finally had enough, and I finally was like, "You got to go." I was fed up with all of the verbal abuse and stuff. Did things get physical? Oh, well, I'll admit it, 100%. And you know why? Because this man came home from the other chick's house, right?
Wait. How can you have another chick? He was in a relationship.
Hold on, let me get to it, right? So after that, he comes home and he tries to hug me. He tried to console me. And I'm just like, don't touch me. Like, at this point, just don't touch me. I shoved him off me, don't touch me. He proceeded to continue to do so. And I ended up shoving him very hard. And he definitely over-exaggerated the push, because I know how strong he is and how strong I am. But he backed up into the wall and, like, acted like I literally hurt his back, right? And then I'm sitting there, and I was like, good. I hope that did hurt, right? Now, from outsiders looking in, that's very abusive. I am a toxic person. How dare I do that? I said some awful things to him. But what built that up? What did I experience? What was I going through? Well, I was subjected to being called awful things. He's a white guy. I'm obviously not a white person. He called me the N-word with the hard R. You're not
white. What the hell am I doing here?
Called me the N-word with the hard R. Okay, on multiple occasions. Pretty much told me I was a pathetic woman, all kinds of awful, nasty, like anything awful you could say to somebody to break them. That's what he did to me. And when you're dealing with that for as long as you do, it does change you. You end up just getting resentful, angry, and then you lash out. And then you will make threats like that. You will say awful things back because that's all you know. So I can understand from looking at this evidence, like, could she be crazy naturally? Sure, she could be. She could be. But I also see how his mannerisms are and how he's talking in this video, and also videos that we will watch after this of him and having a fight with her. And we will dive into why this is 100% something that a narcissist would do. Yeah, I can kind of understand why, from that perspective, why she might have lashed out like that, because I've been there. I'm not perfect. I've said those things to somebody who has been very abusive to me, and I stayed with stupidly for as long as I did. So I get it. I 100% get it, And I'm not, again, this is not saying that he's innocent or guilty. This is just saying from my perspective, I'm explaining the other side potentially of the story. So people need to just stop looking at these crazy females and never ask the question, well, why is this woman crazy? Because there are crazy women who are naturally like that, and there are crazy women who are basically pushed into that. Narcissistic abuse does cause women and men who are being dealing with narcissists, it does make them that way. It does. Because yes, I have my toxic traits. Y'all know I'm crazy. But like, when you have somebody abusing you verbally all the time, you're gonna do things that you normally wouldn't do. Like, I would never put my hands on somebody for no reason. Like, I'm not an abusive person. I'm not going to just get into an argument with somebody and my first instinct is to hit them. I only hit somebody if I feel threatened, or if I am so beyond angry and I just want to hurt that person, that especially somebody who's hurt me, right? And that's what I experienced. I experienced somebody who was hurting me every day for years. And then finding out that they were having another relationship with somebody else behind my back, while still trying to be in a relationship with me, still trying to keep me in control, still trying to use me to be a roommate while he was out doing what he was doing. And when I finally had enough, and how dare you try to console me and try to act like you weren't in the wrong. You know what I mean? Like, that's just, you make somebody go crazy. You make somebody go fucking crazy. And then when we lash out, when we react to the abuse, and this is what narcissism is, when you react to the narcissist, you're the person that's crazy. You're the person they do. And they smear you. This is what this dude is doing, right? This is called the smear campaign. If he is a narcissist, this is called the smear campaign. This is what narcissistic people do. They abuse you. They get you to act out off of their abuse. They screenshot, they record, and they put it out there to say, see what they did? I'm not the bad person. They only show you the reactions to the abuse they already did. They don't show you the abuse. Because the funny thing is, right? After that interaction, this is where I wanted to tell you guys a story, right? After I pushed this guy, right, who did all that, right? After I pushed him, right, I had talked to his dad and told him, like, you need to get him out of my house. I can't do this no more, right? And he was very mad that I told his dad because his dad had no idea what was going on. His dad was told, here's the funny thing, his father was told, get this, Tony, his father was told that me and him had been broken up for a very, very long time, and that I was in a relationship with somebody else. His father had no idea that what was going on in the situation. Because when I hit his dad, I was like, you need to get him out of here. He's like, what's going on? I was like, oh, he didn't tell you, right? So that was funny. So then after that, we got into another argument. And I told him that I talked to his dad. He's like, oh, well, did you tell your dad that you threw something at me one time? I said, oh, no, I didn't. But did you tell your dad? You know, you can tell your dad I threw something at you. And why don't you tell your dad why I threw something at you? It's because he called me a stupid N-word. That's why I threw something at him. See what I mean? Like, they'll always tell you the bad side, right? They'll always tell you what you've done, but they will never tell you what they've done to get that reaction. They would never tell you. Now, I'm sorry. Does anyone in the chat think that I was in the wrong for throwing something at somebody who called me, that was somebody I was with for a long time, thought they loved me, that I threw something at somebody who called me a stupid N-word with the ER at the end? Does anyone blame me for that? Now, should I have thrown that stuff? Probably not. But you know what? If you're going to call me a racial slur, you're going to get hit with a soda can.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, yeah. And well, no, it wasn't full. It was empty. And the funny thing
you threw an empty soda can at somebody and he threw a shit fit about it?
But you know what's hilarious about that, Tony? I wasn't even aiming for him. I just threw it out of anger and it just somehow managed to hit him right in his head. And I was like, and I even apologized, like, oh shit, I'm sorry. I even said that. I was like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for that to hit you. But at the same time, that's what you get. Like, that's literally what I did. All right, then, yeah, exactly.
Soda can at me, I'd be like, whatever. It's not even a thing.
And that's the thing, right? That's the funny thing, right? Is after that happened, right? The funny thing is, you're right, because after I threw the can at him for calling me the N-word, right? We were still arguing, and then I noticed his phone was sitting up. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I grabbed the phone, realized he was recording after that happened. Because he was wanting me to do more stuff so he could show it to everybody and say, see what I had to deal with? This is why I did what I did. See, this is what narcissists do. They try to justify their bad actions by painting the other person as the villain. That's why I say this guy is coming off as a narcissist, because the way he is responding to all of this is like, bro, he is trying so hard to make sure everybody knows this chick is just straight up crazy. And again, she very well could be, but I want to know what made this chick crazy. Was she always crazy, or did he make her crazy? Was he doing some shit that was getting the reaction he was getting? Because I'm telling you right now, I don't know. There are some people who would be like unprovoked to a certain level that would be like, I'm gonna slit your throat, right? But like, I don't know, man. I think that he was doing something to her. I think it went both ways. If we're gonna, like, you know, I feel like that's valid. It was empty, right? Like I never like beat the crap out of nobody, right? But like, it was always a reaction. It's a reaction to narcissistic abuse. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't really, I've told some people about the situation, some people close to me who used to come to the chat and stuff, like Shadow. You guys know Shadow. Shadow knew all about this stuff going on. She's seen it, she's heard it. She was there throughout the entire year that I was going through that. Her and a few other people, they were well aware of the stuff. They were trying to get me out. Like, I don't know if you guys remember that GoFundMe that was put out there to help me get out of the situation I was in. That's what it was for. That GoFundMe was to get me and baby a new place to go, because I was kind of stuck here with him until eventually I got his father involved and had him removed. and he eventually had to go. I had to kick him out, like, officially. And the only way I was able to kick him out is if I got somebody else involved, because I have told him many times I was going to leave. And then, you know, he would guilt me into staying and then manipulate me into staying. And then also, when I told him he should go, he would always guilt me. I have nowhere to go. I have nowhere to go. So I was like, you know what? Well, why don't you ask your dad to help you find some place to go? And it wasn't until I contacted his dad that he actually did something. So what's that, Tony?
Huh?
You posted something.
Yeah,
Shadow was here the other day. What?
It's a link to a summary of the events going on here.
Oh, okay. But yeah, that did happen to me, guys. That's why during that year, last year, I don't know if you guys remember, last year I was all a mess, and I'll also be 100% honest, like, kind of why I needed to, like, leave for a little bit. There was like a lot going on in my life, and I was still kind of dealing with that, because it's been a year since he's been gone. He was kicked out in March of last year, and since we've kind of come full circle, it's just been a lot, right? But yeah, that's why I say from experience, personal experience, when I talk about people being narcissists, like personal experience as a victim of it, it's kind of just like, yeah, like, you know, yeah, if you guys remember all that, that's what really was going on. That's what was really going on. I was in a very toxic, abusive relationship for 8 years, and I didn't really realize how bad it was until the very last year. And that's when it all came to a head. And now he's gone, living his best life with the chick that he was messing around on both of us, which was the crazy part. It was both of us, because like she wasn't even aware. She was being told lies too. She had no idea that me and him were still sleeping in the same bed. And even though we were, you know, he broke up with me, quote, air quotes, broke up with me in the beginning of that year. He was already very much involved with that woman. Like when I tell you guys, narcissists are like fucking crazy. Like I didn't even know what narcissism was until that situation. Cause when I say they do the most, they do the most. Like I'm talking this man, the reason why this man got away with it is because like he would use his family to manipulate me into not knowing or questioning what he was doing. And he told me like 3 days out of the week he was babysitting his niece. And I believed him because who's gonna question?
He didn't even have a niece.
No, he did, but like who's gonna question that, right? Because if I question that, I'd look like an asshole. I believe I did question it once because I did at the beginning. It was like, that's a little weird because I know your family, like I know you're close to your family, but I know you're not like over there as much. You know what I'm saying?
You should have just offered to go babysit with him.
Well, so I did, but then he would be like, yeah, no, because we have the dog too. He did bring the dog with him once, and he claimed that the dog bit his niece, but like looking back on it, it was actually the dog probably bit the chick that he was with because he probably brought the dog over there. So ever since then, he didn't bring the dog anymore. And so because we had a
the
dog
got confused that the chick was like jumping all over him. He's like, why is that chick attacking my master?
Yeah, right. So my dog was smart. Baby probably bit that lady. And ever since then, the dog wasn't allowed to be over there. So that was what he used as an excuse of why, you know, I couldn't go with him, is because, you know, the dog. And I feel like that was all set up. I felt like he wanted that to happen so he could use that as an excuse, because I did offer to go with him to spend the night babysitting, but that was me being dumb. But like I said, after being with somebody for a long time, like you just don't think they're capable of lying like that. You would think that if somebody actually cared enough about you and they were done with you or fell in love with you, they would just tell you straight up like, hey, I'm done. Like, I don't want to do this anymore, and like actually do it. But anytime we've gotten to a fight and got to that point where like, you know, I'm done, because I would say it sometimes, okay, I'm done, we're breaking up, or he would say it, then like later on we'd cool off and go back to it. So like I said, like I never expected that to be a reality, but it was. So, you know, that's why I say like this guy is giving me vibes of my ex. I say,
well,
yeah.
While you were doing all that blah 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 and women stuff, I was looking something up and found something very interesting here on this whole situation.
Should I finish this video?
Yeah, but before you do, he showed screenshots, right, from a message that he received, and all that was in the message was the person's initial. Do you remember what initial that was?
In the screenshot, E. Yes, it was an E.
E. Okay. So the girlfriend, the one that's making the accusations, do you happen to know her name?
I don't. I'm assuming he said she's Latina, so I'm assuming it's a Latina name.
No, her name is Eve.
Oh, her name is E.
Yeah, so E would be the one that's making the accusations, his last girlfriend, his previous girlfriend, right?
Gotcha.
But now here's the problem. The girlfriend he had before that, her name is Erica.
Okay.
Erica starts with an E.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing in those screenshots to indicate if it's a message from Eve or Erica. He could be showing us messages from Erica, passing them off as Eve's messages. You understand what I'm saying?
Eve was the one who was the girlfriend that is accusing
The
him?
Latina is Eve. Eve
Okay.
is the Latina.
But he also had a girlfriend named. Oh, okay. Interesting.
So he showed a screenshot, said, here's this crazy chick, right? Here's what she said to me, this Eve chick, right? But he just said Eve.
You see why I was confused of which girl he's talking about? Because now we got both girls with the same initial, and and that's why I got confused. But yes, I heard Lady Fist. I thought it was the same chick. They kind of sound the same, to be honest. But okay, so we don't know if it's Eve or Erica. He could be passing them off as and that's what a narcissist would do. But let's finish this video.
Once again, I do not want you to take my word for it. Instead, I want you to do exactly what you've already been doing. I want you to take her word for it without any proof or research of your own of any kind.
If anybody were to come up to ask me and say, hey, how's Razor? How's living with Razor? Oh, he's a lying piece of shit.
Except that's not true.
Are you still a virgin? Yeah, I'm still a virgin. Oh, but I thought you lived with your boyfriend. Yep, still a virgin.
Weirdest groomer ever. A relationship that requires a time-traveling DeLorean to actually occur, culminating in no sex whatsoever because we were both waiting until marriage.
Does this guy not know what grooming means? Does he know that
he
most
defended Michael Jackson?
Yeah, I mean, does he not know what grooming means? Grooming means that you're prepping the person to be in a relationship or sexual relationship with you or any kind of relationship with you. You don't have to have sex with a minor to be a groomer, dude. Like, I think that this is the most bad argument. Like, I stand by everything I said, but now with the more context that Tony brought, like, I understand now more because this dude was not making sense. This dude was not making sense to me. But like, yeah, 100% he does not know what grooming is, and that's scary.
Saucy stuff, folks. I can see why you'd want.
I think he's trying to play word games and semantics to get. Obviously, he's trying to get the audience on his side, right? So he's not the bad guy. I couldn't have groomed her because I didn't sleep with her. Therefore, there's no grooming, right? That's the argument he's trying to pass off as reasonable.
Right, guys. I did not groom her at 15 because we didn't have sex.
Want to torpedo your entire YouTube career, attaching your credibility to it. But what about the most salacious allegation of all? The ones Blandy Worski and the Diabetosaurus next to him were shaking their talentless tits about for 20 minutes at a stretch, blissfully unaware it was the prologue to the end of their YouTube career. A decade-old, long discredited screenshot from a porn website that no longer exists, featuring incorrect doxing information that's grainier than the Zapruder footage. By all means, let's dive into that. Because while you world-smashing web sleuths were spending all of 5 seconds repeating lies on an e-drama website whose own page includes a disclaimer that it is, quote, an online humor and satire source, and thus that you shouldn't take anything said therein even the slightest bit seriously, I did some digging of my own, and I didn't.
By the way, I want to point out something with that, right? Again, if you are smart, which Razorfist is clearly not, here's the thing, right? People will put those types of disclaimers on websites or in their Twitter bios to
not get sued.
It's like it's right. It's a loophole for terms of services. Okay. So fun fact, guys, and Elon Musk pretty much did this. You guys remember when Elon Musk took over X? If you put parody on your profile and your bio on Twitter, your account will be taken as a parody account. So anything you post, if it's talking shit, like say I made a fucking parody account about FrogTony here, and I was just sitting there shitting on FrogTony and harassing FrogTony with this account. Well, it says it's a parody account. Tony can report it all he wants, but as long as it's not breaking terms of services, which Elon Musk said parody accounts are allowed, right? I can do it. So when websites put it's satire, like there is obvious satire, right? There's obvious satire. Like we're smart. We know the difference between satire and actual news. The reason why they put that there, and I guarantee you I'm right, is so that they don't get in trouble. So they don't get reported and they don't get sued for the shit that they talk about. So him using that as an argument, you can't take them as credible. I mean, you couldn't take them credible if they've posted things that have already been proven to discredit their credibility, right? If they made stories where it turned out it was all bullshit, they didn't do their research and it was completely dog shit, right? You got that. But just having satire in the disclaimer is not the gotcha you think it is, because I guarantee you they put it there to absolve themselves of any accountability held when somebody like you is threatening to end their YouTube careers. Just saying. Apparently it's about shitting on Tony. These are close friends we're talking about. Yes, we shit on Tony all the time. He's into that though. He's weird. Lobo says, I'm too lazy to go back to the beginning. What's the stream about? Razorfist crashing out over people bringing up year-old accusations against him. FrogTony is a lesbian. Yes, he does look like a lesbian.
Have to dig far. You see, the allegation is these videos are not only of me, but the proof is that I uploaded them myself. Now, as an author, I would say I have a fairly distinct authorial voice, marked by bizarre Victorian nomenclature interspersed with the odd peppering of profanity. So in doing some research, I discovered that the video in question was actually uploaded more than once by the same original user on that porn website. And in examining the description of said video, I would imagine my unique grammatical style would be impossible to camouflage. So let's dig in. The first video entitled Danky Face / Carrot Head.
So Razor's argument here is that he couldn't have uploaded this because the person who uploaded it doesn't sound like him. Now, I would say, like, if I was secretly uploading stuff, right, that maybe I didn't want attached to my main account, I would definitely, like, talk differently or add different words or make sure that my style is not reflective of what it is here, right? So, like, you know, if I had a fake account, I might be like, yo, what's up, my motherfuckers? I love this shit. White power forever, right? Like, that's totally not Tony. He's a Mexican guy who doesn't sound anything like that, sir. Clearly, this is someone else pretending to be him. Like, no, it could be him just putting on an act in order to throw off suspicions that it was ever him.
Right, exactly. You're 100% right. This, again, all of the things he's saying in this video, even though I had it wrong in the beginning and Tony corrected me, thank you for that, by the way, because it was confusing. This whole thing is confusing. It's still a bunch of bullshit. It's still a nothing burger. It's still him doing what, again, I believe is a narcissistic thing, which is smear everybody else and take no accountability for anything. Like, I would say if he was to admit, like, yeah, I was in a relationship with this chick. It was very abusive. You know, I was not, perfect in the relationship. Like, I told you guys a story. Was I perfect in my relationship that I just told you about? No. Did I admit that I friggin' threw hands? Yes. Did I explain why I threw hands? Yes. Does that make it okay? No. But at the same time, now having more context, like, there's more understanding of why that relationship was bad, right? And I'm not going to sit here and 100% say, like, was I perfect in that relationship? No. Like, I could have sat here and did a whole live stream and called out my ex and said he did this and that, but I also was reacting to the abuse, which is also not good. But again, it's a reason. It's not an excuse. It's a reason. So I don't care. He called me a racial slur. Fuck him. I didn't even mean to hit him with that shit. He deserved it though, because like, how are you gonna be in a relationship with somebody and then snap on them? Because listen, I'm not gonna go back into it. Maybe I'll talk about towards the end. But if you guys want to hear the story, I'll tell you guys at the end, because like then you'll really understand. Because like, let me tell you, that's a story. That's content. But that's also my real life. So
self-deprecating sort that I am, goes on to say, quote, I am that coward, capital C, who have nothing to do just to sit at my cam and review stupid games, capital G. This is the video of my jerking off, capitalized all. Oh, but now here's a curious cultural artifact for any actual Americans out there, because what follows is a phone number that's not only incorrect, but written not in the American, the international phone number format, meaning with a plus sign, followed by a country code of 1 for America, followed by an unspaced, unhyphenated phone number thereafter, as we in the hinterland of Arizona are so inclined to do. Of course, I remember this video even better than that, because back in April of 2011, the selfsame barely literate troll uploaded this false video to YouTube and linked it to my fans. See, back then, YouTube listed each and every one of your subscribers on your page publicly. So said troll was able to scroll down the list and DM it to them at whim. Some of you rageaholics may still remember this. And so in April of 2011, I shut my channel down only briefly in order to protect my own fans from being spammed by this spurg, as there was no other way to hide my public subscribers. If you're wondering, by the way, why my channel was founded in May of 2009, but none of my videos date to before April of 2011, mystery solved. I had to re-upload them all. Mind you, the video was promptly removed, but the account was still up long enough that I did nab a screenshot of some of the reactions at the time. And it's in combing over the account in question that we see more sterling examples of my writing style. Quote, I'm Daniel Razorbutt. Some know me as Donkey Face, Carrot Head, Dumb Shit, and ... But I prefer Jerkaholic. Yeah, I do believe you cracked the case of my illicit gay porn career, Columbo. You should roll with this narrative without doing any research whatsoever because you're cranky about a tweet. In fact, you should attach the final remaining micrograms of credibility you still possess on your person to push in this piss-poor nonsense and accomplish precisely nothing in the process but utterly embarrassing yourself being caught once again lying about strangers on the internet. But
you know what's funny? He could easily just prove this whole thing by just comparing dicks. Hey guys, you see this jerk off video that's posted? That's not my dick. This is my dick. It's really easy.
I tried that. It doesn't work.
Yeah, just show your dick.
There's dick twins.
Yeah, see that bump on the head, guys? This is my dick, and that guy doesn't have a bump on his dick, so therefore, it's not my dick.
One thing he doesn't have a dick. You know what's really weird? Sag?
What?
That website that he went to with the person's account and stuff.
Yeah.
It's no longer available.
Oh gee, I wonder why.
Well, I gotta ask, where did he get the screenshot from? Like,
I think
he's been sitting on this screenshot forever.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing because the format is like different. Hold on, let me stop sharing the screen real quick. Because it's doing the thing again where it's like it fucks up my internet.
I think maybe he, I don't know the website. I'm not familiar with slutload.com. But what if that's from the user page? Like that's that's how it looks to people who own the page, right? You know how like YouTube looks different if you go to your own page versus if someone else goes to it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I personally don't care about like that. That shit don't bother me at all. I could care less. I'm more worried about the fucking accusation of the 15-year-old and the ex. But we're almost done. Well,
it'll become very important in a minute. You'll see.
Yeah.
But we expect laziness and libel from these cum-burping bitches. No one whatsoever surprised when Glandy Worski peers out from the coke cloud, flanked by an anonymous autistic asteroid who, if chins were brains, would rule the fucking world, pauses momentarily to comb an e-drama website that openly admits to lying its dick off from dawn to damn dusk, all to tank the remaining relevance of the Diabeto Casino. And as for SmashJT, the fart huffing hack who honestly confuses himself with an independent journalist, such that he's still spurging about stolen scoops that if his character in this instance is any indication, he likely stole from someone else. Also, he could slap white text on a wildly original thumbnail and express socially acceptable opinions on the 8 entire members of his imbecilic audience. Ah, well, what you lack in talent, you make up for in chromosomes. Look at the bright side, bud. I've ended bigger careers of infinitely more talented individuals in a 5-minute rant. You only took me 30 seconds. Walk it off, asshole. I hear they're hiring at IKEA. And the receipts you've heard today.
Can I just pause before we get to the ending? I will give this man credit, though. He is fucking funny. Like, his insults are rapid. I can't even be mad at it. I can see why people like gravitate to him, but man, that's funny. But can I ask you a question, Tony?
Yeah.
whose career did Razorfist actually end?
As far as I know, no one's.
So, like, what careers did he ruin? Because, like, my
As far as
thing
I
is,
know,
right,
none.
especially on YouTube, the only person who can end your own YouTube career is yourself, right? Like, if you go on YouTube after the stream, by the way, and look up YouTubers who ruin their own career, like, like YouTubers are the only ones. Like, you could only ruin your own YouTube career. When you have a business, the only person who can ruin your career or fire you is your consumers, right? But like, you are solely responsible for losing your consumers. So, like, perfect example, right? Miranda Sings. What the fuck's her name? What the fuck is her
I have
name?
no idea.
The Toxic Gossip Train. I had a bad fucking apology, so I busted out a ukulele. What the fuck's her name? You guys know who I'm talking about, right? That bitch ruined her own career. Okay? She would have been able to probably salvage her career if she did not do that shitty apology. So, like I said, no individual YouTuber could really ruin someone else's career unless they dropped a scoop exposing that YouTuber on their own bad shit that they've been doing. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really say you ruin people's careers because you roasted them in a video. Like, that's not how it works. I just want to throw that out there. And then we're going to go to the other video.
Are only the tip of the shiceberg. I'm holding the real goodies back just in case a crazy person decides to be the latest Me Too accuser to lose in court. But publicly, outside of a courtroom, this is the first and last word I have said about this easily debunked bullshit. On with the rants.
You know,
Okay, so
Razorfist has me
that's
blocked on Twitter.
Yeah, good. Consider yourself lucky. Consider yourself lucky.
Like for a long time. But I want to tell you this real quick because this is a
that's hilarious.
What's the word I'm looking for? An archive of a tweet made under Razorfist's account that is supposedly from his ex-girlfriend.
Ooh, are you gonna cover this on your channel where you have more people watching?
Not today. Probably, maybe later. I don't know.
Shame.
I need something to cover today, so I probably will. Yeah.
So it says here, I'm Razor and I'm a complete piece of shit. I jerk off to porn while my innocent girlfriend sleeps in the next room. Despite criticizing everyone who watches porn online, I can't keep promises I willingly made to her, and I belittle her intelligence when she catches me in lies. Oh, shit. If that isn't a woman scorn.
Well, he claims this is all wrong. This is all a lie. That he doesn't watch porn, blah blah blah. But if he's not fucking, if he wasn't fucking his girl when they were living together, I could see him needing, especially if she's very touchy feely because she's looking to get some. Apparently, you know, the pretending to be a good Christian woman was just a mask that she was wearing. So clearly, she was probably coming on to him and trying to get him all excited. So I could see him definitely jerking off the porn. You know, thinking he's gonna like dispel the demons so he doesn't accidentally sleep with his girlfriend, right?
Right. Hold on. I gotta. Oh shit! Did I not save it? Hold on. I'm gonna put up a video of the fight that she recorded. I thought I. Oh yeah, I did save it. It's in my playlist.
Smashed it, privated, or membered only, or did something with the video he.
Yeah,
did
he membered only. He's yeah. It's members only. Yeah. Yeah, he made it members only. Hold on, let me see.
Douglas says, I knew he was in a gooner. I believe so too.
Where the hell's my playlist?
All right, so
here's
the other. I don't know, but here's the other thing, so that way you can get full context, right? While you're waiting to get your whatever. So this is Eve, right? And she made this post, and this is saved on Ghost Archive. See, this is the kind of thing that, like, I think Kiwi Farms is good about, right? Like, archiving shit like this. No, you disagree?
No, I do. I do agree. I found it, by the way.
You want to read this, or you want me to read this?
I can't even see it. You probably be able to read it better than me because it's like, hold on, let me blow up my screen. All right, so this is apparently the ex who he dated when she was, or started talking to when she was 15. Despite me openly talking about my right-wing past, an Anon account is replying to my friends on Instagram calling me alt-right. This label might have been, thank you, appreciate it, might have been more fitting when I was 19, 20, but I've since broke up with the shithead whose politics I adapted and became my own person. I dated a pretty well-known right-leaning asshole from 15 to 20. I then, too, also became a right-wing leaning asshole. Then that asshole ruined my heart and hurt me. I left at 20 and went back to being me. I wasn't right-wing before him, and I'm not right-wing after him. I'm almost 23, so somebody assuming I hold the same politics as back then is funny. Real-world experiences has humbled me. I'm not the bitter wannabe, all-knowing asshole I was when I was 20. I mean, seriously, I was so stupid back then. I thought Trump was the greatest president. I don't feel the need to prove myself in the present. However, I think it's obvious I live my life the way that makes right-wingers cringe and pray for me. I still get messages from fans, quote, hashtag, quote, fans of my ex and how they are disappointed I, quote, gave in to the communist agenda, LMFAO. Basically, if you absolutely cannot accept I have a right-wing past, even though I'm clearly not that person now, you can unfollow or block. I don't know, but don't harass my friends in the comments of my Instagram reels. And to my friends who know this and accept me, I love you. That's crazy.
So,
oh yeah. So this is somebody responding.
I don't know if you want to read it. It's not really important to the whole thing. But this is Eve, and she said dated from 15 to 20, right? So this right here, to me, I think this is like, there's no lie, right? No one's going to, she's not going to like put this sly little like groomer accusation. She just kind of tucked it away. Like, she didn't name any names, right? And this isn't on like a big public thing where she's like made a video with accusations. Like, this is just some comment she made on, I think this is Twitter.
Right.
Or is this Instagram?
That looks like Twitter.
Yeah, it's Twitter.
Yeah, it looks like Twitter. Wait. Yeah, no, it has. It was. I don't even know, bro.
Well, because it's the knitter archive, it's the thing that archives tweets or whatever. I think maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But either way, she just said she dated someone between she was 15 and 20, right? As far as anyone's concerned, like, no one is like, I wouldn't immediately go, oh, someone groomed her. Like, I just thought, oh, she was dating some guy her age, right? Like, they started dating in high school and now she's 20. They broke up, right? That would be the assumption a reasonable person would make looking at this.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole crux of this whole thing isn't even about like being groomed or anything. So it's really weird that like she would have thrown this in here only to somehow make a sly like accusation against Razorfist that people will years later find this message and then like, yeah, we got him, like we knew it, like that's like some fucking 5D underwater backgammon type shit, right?
Right. Yeah,
it just
crazy.
Feels genuine, right? It feels like she's genuinely talking about what happened. Hey, between the ages of 15 and 20, I dated this dude, and he was right wing, and I adopted his politics. He convinced me that was the right thing, and then I broke up with him. And I figured out, hey, you know what? I'm not really into right wing shit, right?
Which is kind of crazy considering he's showing clips about how, in screenshots of how insane and crazy and abusive she is. Yet she did not say his name in this post when she could have. She even threatened to do it, and she didn't do it.
It's just 25 likes. Yeah, it's not even like a big thing, right? It's like 10 likes on this one post.
Right, but he knew she was talking about him, and he knew, so yeah, I get it. But I found the video. I found the video. Is it gonna be in short format? I hate when it's YouTube Shorts.
If it's a short, then it's gonna be in short format.
Okay,
I guess that's usually what happens.
Well, sometimes when it's in shorts, it's like a video, so I don't know. But okay, let me go back to the page because I don't want to play it when
How old is Razorfist right now? I think currently, let's see. He was born in 1985. So what does that make him? 40?
Okay, hang on, because it keeps playing. Okay, hold on. Oh my god. I don't know why it's being silly. I'm trying to get this video up, but I found it, and then it's like it's auto playing, and I'm not trying to get it to autoplay because I want it because it's a short. I hate trying to play stuff on YouTube Shorts. I wish it's just posted as a video.
You let it auto, here's what you do: you let it autoplay, pause it, pull it up, then go to the next short, and then go back to the previous short, and then it'll start auto playing again, but from the beginning.
I'm just gonna do it this way. Okay, so. Yeah, okay, I can do it this way.
You can do it whatever way you want. I will let you do it however you want to do it.
Yeah, because I want to be able to like do it like this, okay? Because like we can hang on, okay. Give me a second, guys.
So Trump being president,
finally,
he was
I can see
32 and older. So he was 32 and she was 20 at the end, thereabouts at the end of the relationship. Yeah.
All right, so let's play this audio so you guys can hear it. What's going on?
Okay.
Oh my god, fuck it. I'm just gonna click.
It is.
Okay, then you need to go.
Well, how did you come to that conclusion? That doesn't even make any sense.
Because I am telling you, I don't want you to work that job.
Well, too fucking bad. I have the job and I'm not gonna quit.
Then fuck you. Get out.
No.
Yes.
No.
You realize I can just remove your name from the fucking lease. You don't pay rent.
I don't care. I'm going to go to sleep. I am tired. And that's how it's going to go down. Stare me down all you want. It's not going to work.
What? What is going to work?
Staring me down and being verbally abusive.
What is it going to
not going to work. It's not going to be. If you want me out tomorrow, I'm out.
You don't say how it ever fucking goes down. Shut the fuck up.
No. I will not. Stop being verbally abusive. It's not going to work. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Okay, so I just want to point out, right? If you, for context, right? Basically what's going on is the caption says that she went out with coworkers at her new job. And he had an issue with that. And he told her she had to quit her job. And she's saying, no, I'm not going to quit. So he says, get out then. He's trying to kick her out. She says it was 3:00 in the morning when this happened. And he's telling her to get out and that she has to quit her job. If she doesn't quit her job, she has to leave. I saw in the comments of this thing, which disgusted me, where people are like, well, she doesn't pay rent. It's like, okay, so let's think about this logically, guys. She is working. And instead of saying you're working now, you should pay rent, his focus is you should quit your job. Clearly, he has no issues with living with her and taking care of the rent while she's working and making her own money because she went out with some coworkers. Now she has to quit her job. That's a control thing. That is 100% a control thing. You don't want this person to work, so she has to depend on you. So she has no other resources to leave you, right? She doesn't have her own money for her to go out and do things like go shopping, hang out with friends. So the thing that's crazy is, right, and again, yes, thank you. Yes, that's a good point. If her name is on the lease, she doesn't have to leave. Exactly. But that's the thing that's hilarious about this. This is Razorfist with his girlfriend, and now we know it's Eve, right? Telling her she has to quit her job or leave. But then again, her telling him, well, if you don't stop streaming and take your social medias down, I'm not talking to you anymore. That's a threat, right? So it's funny how, again, this is why I wanted to bring this up. This is the narcissistic tendencies that I was telling you about. This is why I feel this man's a narcissist, because that's the control thing. My ex would do that stuff to me and say similar things to me all the time. Well, when I threatened to leave, when I said I'm going to leave because you're seeing somebody else, why am I here? I'm going to leave. The rebuttal would be, well, who's going to take care of you and the dog? You can't take care of the dog. The dog will die if I leave. That's manipulation. That's control. That is what Razorfist is doing to this woman. So when I tell you guys, and I told you guys my experience, I said it's relevant because this is what they did. Telling a woman who's working to quit her job because she went out with coworkers is insane. It's about control, leaving you with no other. A narcissist wants you to depend on them so that you can't leave. And if you try to, there's the threats, there's the verbal abuse. That's crazy. And this man saying that, oh, this woman was abusive. Well, gee, I wonder why. When you hear this clip, do you guys now kind of understand why this woman might have been a little crazy herself? Living with somebody who's telling you to quit your job because how dare you go out and hang out with people? How dare you not be here where I need your attention, where I need your supply? That's a narcissist. One thing that my current boyfriend has said, which is the smart, he's a very intellectual person, right? And he said, you don't get, most people who are successful, especially in entertainment industry or whatever, they tend to be, you can't be a little bit, it's fucking up my stream. Okay. Let me get that off. It's fucking up the connection. You're right. That's right. That's some psycho shit. Exactly. But don't forget, this woman is crazy, guys. She threatened to slit his throat and stuff. I mean, I wonder why. If you're verbally abusing this woman on a daily basis, you're going to get those, especially with a fucking ethnic woman. I'm sorry, but Latinas are fucking crazy. Ooh. You signed up for crazy. You know this is true. Latina women are fucking crazy. They openly admit it. They basically brag about it. Yes, I'm a crazy ass Latina. They are. But my thing is the fact that he's trying to paint this whole narrative of she's this crazy psycho. Meanwhile, he's trying to kick her out of their own house that she is on the lease for and have her quit her job. If she doesn't quit her job, she's kicked out. Who does that? Who fucking does that? Razorfist does that. Razorfist does that. They're both kind of crazy, which is fair. But my thing is, like, was she always really just that crazy, or did he bring that out of her? Because again, it doesn't make it right, but let's keep it real. Who is the more aggressor in the situation? Who is the person who's probably more at fault? Like I said, not taking away from the shit I did with my ex, because he definitely brought up the fucking crazy in me. But like, let's keep it real. Like, was I always just crazy? A little bit. But there's a difference between being crazy and toxic and arguing with somebody and somebody verbally abusing you all the time, telling you that you can't survive without them. That's abuse. That's manipulation. That's what keeps people in these relationships. You know what I'm saying? So like, nah, this dude is absolutely insane. That dude is absolutely insane. Razorfist is insane. What's this? What are we looking at?
I don't know. Read it.
I wrote every single tweet citing receipts to expose Daniel Paul Harris, aka Razorfist, as a groomer who groomed an underage girl he met online, who then moved across the country to live with him just after she turned 18. Oof. Just making sure you weren't involved. Wait, what?
You know who Gabe Hoffman is?
I do not.
Gabe Hoffman is the guy who did the big documentary about Hollywood pedophiles.
Yikes. So, that's crazy.
He's part of the, so his organization is called An Open Secret. And so I will share this with you.
He said my homegirl who's Latina stabbed her husband before it was crazy night. Goddamn. Oh my God. I blocked Razorfist on my old Twitter account. I was like, I can't stand this dude. We challenged Daniel Paul Harris, aka Razorfist, to face us live on his YouTube channel to debate that he groomed an underage girl on the internet. Then as soon as she's turned 18, she moved across country to live with him. If he doesn't, that shows he's afraid of the facts of the truth because he's a liar, a groomer, and a coward. Razorfist has blocked you. That's crazy. That's what I mean. It's like, listen, I know that facts and evidence really matter in situations, but I also am a firm believer that people's responses and reactions need to be taken into account, because I've said this many times. If you are innocent, You have nothing to fear from telling the truth without saying, I can't say nothing. Like, fuck that. I get it. Because I've had this argument with D. Joseph Santos before when we were talking about Dr. Disrespect, right? Because my thing is, if you're telling the truth and you did nothing wrong, just say it, right? Oh, well, you know, they can't say it because of lawyers and NDAs. Bro, fuck all that. Innocent is still innocent, dude. Well, you don't want to say something that could incriminate yourself. If it's the fucking truth, how are you incriminating yourself? That's the thing that always bothers me about these situations, right? I was watching a video because, like, my dude is into, like, watching police body cam footage and stuff, right? We were watching one last night where this dude ended up stabbing 6 teenagers at a lake, right? And
damn, only 6? He's
yeah,
going for the high score or what?
He stabbed 6 teenagers at a lake. One of them died, so it was a homicide, right? So they found the dude on the other side of the lake. He changed his clothes or whatever. He was with a group of people. They all saying, no, they attacked him. So where he fucked up, and this is why he got charged, right? Where he fucked up is when he got arrested, right? They arrested him. They told him, you're being arrested for a homicide, right? Damn well him knowing he did stab them kids. Okay, so during the interrogation, when they're in the rooms and they're talking to him about what happened, they already had footage of what happened, right? They obviously didn't tell him that, but they already had a video that one of the kids at the lake took of it. Well, I'll get to that in a second. They already had footage of the one of the kids took of the incident, right, leading up to the stabbing and after the stabbing, right? And basically, he told them, no, they attacked me. They took my knife off of my hand. I had a knife on me. They took it and they attacked me. I was afraid of my life. Then you see the footage to see, no, this dude ran up to them while they were making fun of him because he said he was there. He was looking for his snorkel. And somehow they misheard him and thought that they said something about him looking for little girls. So they started calling him a pedophile and stuff. And that caused the altercation. And then eventually, he had the knife in his hand, ready to fight. Like, he was ready. When they were starting to get all rallied up against him, he had his knife out. And then one of the kids attacked him. Like, they pushed him down, and he got up and he started stabbing people. And the first kid he stabbed him and pulled down, which exposed his insides. The kid's insides were coming out. That kid was dead.
Ew.
Then, well, actually, no, I think they saved that one. I think the one that he killed was the one he stabbed directly in the heart. Like, or in the ribs or something. I forget what it was. Yeah, no, he stabbed him in his heart, and that kid died instantly. But, like, where he fucked up is, like, if he was innocent, right? Like, why lie? Because he admitted in court that he lied about it. Well, you said it was that they took your knife or that they had knives. No, it was my knife. Yeah, I did stab them, but they attacked me first. It was self-defense. But if he hadn't lied in the beginning, because yeah, in the video, like in the beginning, he was the aggressor. Yes, he was attacked first. Then he started stabbing people. But because he lied about the knife being his and all that shit, yeah. So it's like, tell the fucking truth. The truth is the truth. It doesn't matter if the fucking lawyers, oh, you're going to incriminate yourself. You incriminate yourself more when you don't tell the truth, for me, in my eyes. And that's what Razorfist
No,
did.
you never talk to the police, ever.
Never talk to the police. What is this?
Ever. Never. You never. 100%, I'm giving everyone this is legal advice. Never speak to the police, even if you're innocent. Never. Ever.
No,
Because,
okay. Yeah,
yes,
don't talk to
never,
the police.
never.
But don't
ever.
talk to the police. Don't talk, because here's the thing,
Ever.
right? Here's the thing, right? When police arrest you, right? Because there's detaining, there's somebody who detains you. When you're being detained, you're not under arrest, right? They're just holding you there while they conduct their investigation. When you are arrested, that means they found enough evidence to place you under arrest. When you are in the interrogation room, it means they already have enough evidence and they need to have you basically either collaborate or see if you're going to lie about it, right? So in that instance, they already had video evidence of the event. This man is saying, it wasn't my knife. I didn't have the knife out. They took my knife. In the video, you see where he grabbed the knife, had the knife in frame in his hand, ready to go. So it's like, when you get arrested, guys, yeah, Tony's right. Do not talk to the police when you get arrested because, you know what? They already have enough evidence to have you there in the first place. That's where you can incriminate yourself, because if you try to lie or you say something, always say, I want to speak to a lawyer. When you're arrested, I want to speak to a lawyer. They say you have the right to remain silent. You need to remain silent when you get arrested. That's 100% true. But also, if you're fucking innocent, if you're 100% innocent, but I'm telling you, if the cops arrest you, it means you're not 100% innocent. That's what I'm saying. If the cops
they can arrest you even if you are 100% innocent. Let's say No, hold
I
on.
will say this.
If
Hold
I
on,
live with,
no, I get
hold
what you're
on,
saying.
hold
No,
on.
wait, let me
If I
rephrase.
live
No,
with you, Saggy, if
Tony,
I
let
live
me
with you
rephrase.
and you
No,
could
I
end
get
up
what you're
dead,
saying.
they could arrest me because I'm the prime suspect.
Right, but what I'm saying is, right, I'm saying if you are innocent, why not talk? Because like, so I've
Why
watched
not
a
talk?
lot.
Because
Listen,
you could
hold
say
on,
so. So here's
hold
why.
on, hold on,
I'll
hold on.
tell
No,
you
no,
why.
no,
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 I'm gonna
no.
explain to you why.
Tony,
It's a very good
here's
reason.
Tony. There's not a very good reason. I'm gonna, you know why I'm
Yes, there
debunking?
is.
Tony, I
There's no
literally watched.
debunking. Do not
Sure.
speak to the police ever.
Listen,
Saggy's wrong on this.
listen. I'm not wrong. Here's the thing, right? So you're a prime suspect of a murder, right? And they take you in because you're a prime suspect, right? Because they take you in because you're a prime suspect. You didn't murder me, but for some reason, some way, shape, or form, you were the last person to talk to me. The reason why I say if you're innocent, like it's not a problem to talk because what they're doing is they need. Hold on, pause. They need to build a timeline. That's what they're doing when they have a suspect. When they have a suspect, they can
never
arrest suspects.
speak
No,
to the police.
listen. I'm just saying, if you're
Ever.
innocent, you did nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with talking to the police.
Yes,
okay.
there is. There's all kind of things wrong. Here's why. Just like they said in the chat here, they can twist your words. So let's say, okay, Saggy, they tell you, hey, we're arresting you for the murder of Tony. We're placing you under arrest. You have the right to remain
I would be
silent.
guilty because it would have been true.
No, and you didn't do it. You didn't murder me, right? You didn't murder me.
But I did.
But they start asking you questions. And let's say you misremember something, right? So you say, when was the last time you talked to Tony? And you go, oh, I think last week we talked, right? And then they look at your phone and go, actually, you talked to him this week. You had sent him a message. But maybe you forgot about it because you were busy. Your dog was messing with you.
I see what. Listen,
so now you go on the stand. Now they go, she claimed to the police that she talked to him last week. But it turns out she talked to him earlier this week. And they go,
I'm going to jail,
oh,
guys.
shit. Then the jury goes, why would she lie? Because you know how people think. So people on the jury would go, why would Saggy lie? Because she did it. Not because you misremembered, not because you were confused, not because you were frazzled because the police arrested you.
Jail.
That's why you never speak to the police. You talk to
I'm
a
going
lawyer.
to jail.
The lawyer gets all your facts down, and then they present it to the police. Here's what you want to know. This is the last time she talked to him. We confirmed. We checked everything.
I don't care if y'all agree with Tony. I'm telling the truth. If I go to jail for telling the truth, then I go to jail for telling the truth. Whatever. And guess what? If I'm wrongfully arrested and they find out I was innocent,
that's not wrong. That's not wrongfully arrested. It's not a payday. If you get arrested by the police and you provide misinformation, whether accidentally or on purpose, and you are convicted by a jury, that's not a wrongful arrest. You don't get a payday. No, it's not. A wrongful arrest is when the police arrest you on purpose, knowing that you didn't do it. That's a wrongful arrest.
Get your bank, girls.
Just because you're black and you get arrested doesn't mean you get a payday, Saggy. Okay?
No, listen. If you get killed by fucking Eric July, and they mistook me for Eric July, and I'm like, I was the last person to listen. And they find the real murderer. If they find you murder. If they find the real murderer, I'm getting my payday. I'm getting my payday. Because I've been watching 60 Days In. I'm telling you, I could not survive jail. Actually, no, I might be able to survive jail because I like being isolated, and I'm crazy. So I would just play off like, "Don't fuck with me. I'm crazy. I'll cut you," even though I really won't. But I throw soda cans at people. They should fear me. But anyways, what's this we're looking at?
Well, read it and you'll find out.
Okay, you gotta zoom in a little. It's like I'm blind.
That's it.
Right?
If I zoom in, it'll be all pixelated.
Okay, hold on. Hi, okay, I can read it. Hi. I don't really like to indulge in internet drama, especially about my shitty and abusive ex. But yes, I was a teen girl when we started talking, which is how I got into right-wing politics so young. I was also introduced to things like the movie Lolita, which is why... Because it looks like an F. I told you I can't see good, which is why I often would wear dresses. Internet dated all the way until I was 18. Then I visited AZ.
Stop. What did I say? Internet dated.
Internet dated, right?
Dead. This is the crux of the argument. He wants to be like, well, no, we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend until she was 18 and she moved over here and moved in with me. This is her saying we were talking before, long distance, over the internet girlfriend and boyfriend, right? And again, maybe Razor doesn't consider that real girlfriend, right? She's not a real girlfriend because it's just some chick on the internet. Like, we don't even meet face to face. But this is her account of it.
Right. And then he broke up with Lady Fist and then she moved in. Right. Then I visited AZ, came back to it, and moved to AZ Thank you. That's so much better. Quickly after, things were fine at first, and then he started to randomly get mean as fuck. It's burnt into my brain. Him calling me things like a low IQ troglodyte was just very nasty towards me, and I did literally everything for him. Towards the end of the relationship, I started catching him being sneaky. He had a porn addiction. I actually caught him red-handed one late night, and he was so pissed off. He ended up pushing me hard towards the door. For some reason, he wanted to kick me out. I fell to the ground, and then he pinned me down and didn't let me up until a minute later. The next day, I was gone. I was gone back to Chicago and haven't been back since. That was damn near 3 years ago. I'm my own woman now. That's all I'll say. And the reason for me saying this is because I'm tired of protecting somebody who hurt me mentally, physically, pushing me, spitting in my face, etc. He is very much an insecure asshole. Have a good day. Yep, sounds like my ex. Well, with the exception that my ex never like, he would push me when we got into fights, but he would push me when we got into arguments. But usually I would say, in fairness, it was kind of response to me pushing him first, because he would say some out of pocket shit which would cause me to just snap. But yeah, it's like I said, it's one of those things where I understand being a crazy female is not the answer. But like sometimes you have to understand, like, it goes two ways. Like, it's not right, but at the same time, if a man is especially a man in this situation, or woman, I'll say both, if there's a person that you're in a relationship with that is talking to you like that and treating you like that, and you react that way, it's kind of like, I always say this is one thing I would always say to my boyfriends, because I had a few boyfriends that were like always pushing my buttons. It's like, don't push me to give you the fucking reaction that you're looking for, and then get mad when I give you that reaction. It's like, don't make me crazy, then be shocked when I'm fucking acting crazy. You're causing me to be crazy. It's cause and effect. You can't sit there and degrade me and disrespect me on a regular basis. And now I guess overall I'll tell the story, Tony. You can stay for this, of course, but like, so when I say that my ex was like this for a long time, when I first
could stay, but I could also leave, right?
Yes, you could also leave.
Is this the end? Because my stream is going to start 45. But is there anything else you're going to cover on Razorfist, or is this it?
Not really cover, but I'm just going to talk about the comparisons of like why I 100% believe this is a narcissist in the making.
All right. Well, okay. Well, I'm going to dip out then. Enjoy the rest of your stream, guys.
Thanks for being here. I'm going to have to put tags in where I'm going to put the tags in, the timestamps where it says, this is where Razorfist confused the fuck out of me. Here's where FrogTony comes in and confirm and this, makes it make sense. Yeah, clarifies so that we know what's going on. And okay, go do your show.
No problem. Like I said, 45 minutes. I'm going to do my show. We're going to cover Razorfist, Eric July, probably some Yellow Flash, SmashJT. JDA, man, everyone's been getting into it with everyone.
It's beautiful, isn't it? All these shitty people fighting each other. It's great. But okay, bye, Tony. I'll probably hop on and when you're covering stuff, I'll surprise you.
Yeah, all right. Goodbye.
Okay, bye. So to get into like why my situation, right, is like, so when I first met my ex, things were good. Like, I kind of always knew he was a little bit of an asshole, but that was like what I liked about him, right? So like, we got into a relationship, and for like a year we were like, we didn't live together, whatever. And like the first time I got a feeling, like I saw firsthand of his anger issues, right? So he would say that he had a mood disorder, which he probably does have. I mean, I think he has narcissistic personality disorder. But every morning he would wake up angry. No matter what I did, he would just wake up angry about something. Like when we lived together, it got worse because like if like the bathroom, like if something happened with the toilet, right? The toilet started flooding, he would snap, like freak out, and he would take it out on me. Like I would just wake up and he would be mad at me. Or when I was streaming, when I first started YouTube streaming, I was streaming late night, right? So I would stream a lot late night, and I'd be up to like 4 a.m, come back, come to bed and stuff. And like I would wake up with him sometimes because he had to work. So I figured it's no big deal, right? Like, I'm streaming and stuff. He's in bed because he has to work, so I could stream while he's sleeping. But no, because if he woke up and I wasn't in bed, he was mad. Like he would get mad over everything. So like, even if it was about me, he would be mad. If it wasn't about me, he'd be mad. And then he'd always apologize later. I'm sorry. You just know how I am in the morning. You know, I haven't gotten to smoke my weed this morning. So like, it's nothing personal. You know how I have a mood thing. So that's what I chalked it up to. Cause obviously somebody who also has mental issues, right? I understood. I can relate. Like, yeah, I get having a disorder, right? I get having a mental thing. And he would self-medicate with marijuana, right? And he was fine. After the marijuana, he was good, right? We'd have a good day, whatever. But it was always the mornings, especially, where it was the worst, right? And then, like I said, sometimes in the middle of the day, he would just get mad and just freak out and then say, oh, it's because I hadn't smoked yet. I need to smoke. He'd smoke all day just to like calm his ass down, right? So at time, like, I just got used to it because, like I said, I'm an empathetic person. So like, I'm not going to punish somebody or not be with somebody because they have mood disorder. I adapted. So I would just try different things. And mind you, everything I tried with him didn't work, right? Like, I would be like, okay, well, if the issue is you're angry in the morning, then why don't we just stop talking in the morning? I'll just let you do your thing till you had your, you smoke and calm down, right? That didn't work either. That didn't work either, because now if I'm not talking to him, now he's mad because I'm not responding to his aggression, right? I've tried leaving, right? In the morning, I would go out, maybe go to the store, get some coffee or whatever. That didn't work, right? So nothing I did helped like manage the issues we had with his anger in the morning, right? So we would always fight. The other thing we had an issue with is like, he always had to be right. Right? He always was smart. He knew his shit. He knew some shit, but everything else, he would just bullshit. Right? Like, if you tell somebody the sky is blue, they will literally argue with you to a T why the sky is not blue, why it's purple or brown or whatever color that they want to imagine. They will argue with you until you just submit and say, yes, you are correct. The sky is brown. That's the type of person he was. Like, you could never tell him anything. He always knew better than you. Right? And also, and I know this is kind of petty for me to bring up, but like, just very cheap. Like, I get money is tight, but like, sometimes it's like, dude, you just don't want to, pay a few extra bucks to go out and get something nice to eat for a date night or something. No, we're just going to get dollar store stuff and eat like that. And I mean, it was just like things that we'd argue about money. Everybody argues about money, but man, it's like, dude, if I'm making money and I want to spend my money on boba tea, I get it. But like, we shouldn't have to argue about my money and what it goes towards. Are the bills paid? Yes, I get it. Maybe I ask him for a few bucks because I haven't got a paycheck or whatever. It was just one of those relationships where it's like everything was a problem. And it was always usually put on me. And then later on, when he calmed down, be like, oh no, like it's me. It's because of my mood disorder. Right. But it doesn't justify what he did after the fact. Right. Because as time goes on, especially with narcissists, they get bored. They get tired. Especially since I'm the type of person, I will fight you back. Like, I'm not, like, when it comes to control, yes, was I controlled certain times? Yes, but not as easily. Like, I started pushing back. I started like, noticing the distance and stuff. It was just, like I said, when it comes to the situation, the reason I'm talking about is because I can understand what this girl was going through. Reading that thing that we read before Tony left, it's like, yeah, that's kind of happened to me. Like, you get into a relationship with somebody, everything's always good in the beginning, and then the mask starts slipping. And then when you start dealing with somebody that you are already in love with, you're already emotionally attached to, you're already trauma bonded too, because some of the times too, it is something that's a thing, trauma bonding. And I was trauma bonded to him as well. So like, I get it. So it's like, I know that a lot of people think that women are just crazy, be crazy. Now, Amber Heard, the only issue I had with Amber Heard, just to go back to that, because Razorfist pointed it out, is that, like, yes, Amber Heard could have been a victim, right? Johnny Depp could have been a narcissist. Johnny Depp could have been a bad person too. But the issue is, for me, is like, again, the response. You have to take some accountability, whether it's like your fault or not, right? It's like, yes, I have to acknowledge that even though this person treated me the way they did, I still reacted in the way I did. And yes, was it related to how that person treated me? Yes. But is it still right? No. Like, I'm not sitting here saying like, yeah, guys, I was completely a perfect person in the relationship I was in. I wasn't. A lot of it too was like the way that I was treated, sure, but I could have handled it better. I should have got up and left and I tried many times. I'd always be suckered back in. But either way, I am still my own person. I'm an adult. I could have handled things better, and I can't sit here and play the victim completely. Right? Was I a victim of a narcissistic, abusive person? Yes, I was. But I'm not going to sit here and act like I also did not dish it back to him. Right? I can sit here and say, at least I didn't take it completely. Towards the end, I fought back. And I'm not ashamed or embarrassed to admit that, yes, I fought back. And if he wanted to put those videos out there, and he threatened it too. He threatened because when I realized he was recording, he's like, I have so many recordings and screenshots. I could have put that out there, ruined your YouTube career. First of all, bitch, this is not my YouTube career. But also, if you did that, sure. And then I would tell people why those recordings happened, what led up to those recordings, where you hear me saying some fucked up shit to you after you said some fucked up shit to me, and then decide to hit play after I gave you the reaction you wanted. You know what I'm saying? It goes both ways. So when it comes to this Razorfist situation, he's a narcissist. I'm pretty sure he's a narcissist. Just watching him and reacting to this, you can tell he's a little bit narcissist. He does this. He had the same thing, the same fucking thing that my ex did to me is literally what we just watched. The things that he was saying about his ex who was accusing him is the same type of shit that my ex did. This is what I'm saying. And the thing is, here's a funny thing. You want to get this? You get this, right? Here's the thing, right? When I found out what he was doing, I'm smart, right? I found out who the other woman was. And on Christmas Day, he was with her. He lied about going over there too. He told me that a family member was in the hospital. He made up this whole thing, and he was with her, right? And when I figured that out, I was like, you know what? I'm done. I know who this chick is. I know her name. I have her phone number. I know where she lives. I texted her on Christmas and told her exactly who he was. And she blocked me, because this is what narcissists do. This is what's called a smear campaign, guys, right? What they do is they already tell all these people these awful things. I talked to some of his friends who no longer talk to him now, and they're my friends. And if it wasn't for these friends, I probably would have still been living with this man, right? Thankfully, they finally, got to know me and realized that he was lying to them, because when I found out what he was telling people about me, guys, I swear to God, I was like dumbfounded, right? Absolutely dumbfounded. Okay. What they do is what's called a smear campaign. And what it is they tell people only the bad shit about you. So I was under the impression that this woman, because I asked him, I was like, does she even know about me? Oh, she knows you exist, but does she know the nature of our relationship? Oh, well, she just knows we still live together and I'm helping you out. Okay, this is what I'm pretty sure she actually was told and shown, that I'm obsessed, I'm abusive, and I want him back so bad, and I can't take no for an answer, and I'm crazy, right? So when I sent the message to her, that just affirmed everything he was already telling her about me, right? And again, they're still together till this day, and I find that absolutely hilarious. And I'm just like, you know what? I did my job. I let you know what kind of person this was, and you chose to save that person. Good luck. Good luck, and that's the thing that sucks, is like, they already tell you things. Like I said, his friends told me he was telling them things about our relationship that just wasn't 100% true. Like, one thing about narcissists I always find fascinating is they always tell you two truths and a lie. And I'm sorry, no, they always tell you two lies and the truth. Said that backwards. They always tell you two lies and the truth. So he would say certain things that were partially true, but never say why or explain his hand in things. Like, one thing he would say is, oh my God, the place was so messy, she doesn't even clean. You don't clean either. Like, I literally showed his friends pictures of his side of the section of the place we stayed at, where he always was, where he sat and played video games and stuff. Hot mess. And I would never clean up, because why should I? You're a grown-ass adult. I shouldn't have to pick up after you all the time, But like, there were things that were said that, his friends found out weren't 100% true. And I would show them proof of that, and then that's when they realized, like, yeah, he's kind of a shitty person. And the fact that, he was doing that to me, they made him think like, oh, well, if he's doing that to somebody he was in a relationship with for 8 years, what the fuck would he do to us? So a lot of his friends kind of like, told me what was really going on, told me a lot of things I did not know. And he also tried to use his friends to manipulate me, offering to pay for one of his friends to take me out to dinner, so I wasn't by myself while he was out doing what he was doing, to keep me distracted, so I stopped thinking about it, so I wouldn't have the urge to contact and ruin his current relationship with somebody, and all that stuff. He also made sure to keep his friends separate from both women. I'm sorry, the other women, because they knew what was going on, and he didn't want to risk the other girl finding out. It like I said, it's absolutely fucking insane when you're dealing with somebody who is a narcissist and is abusing you. And I get it. Like I said, it doesn't make it right how we react. Like, obviously, if you shouldn't react to toxicity with toxicity, but it's an understandable reason why people are crazy. You know what I'm saying? My ex wouldn't let me leave even after I got legal divorce. Said I was crazy. No one would believe me that he had several girlfriends and the baby's mamas. Yeah. The thing that was crazy too, here's another kicker, right? So like when we were like actually separated, because like the weird part was like we broke up, we had an argument, we broke up. And I thought it was one of those moments where we'd always like fight, say we want to break up, but stay together or fix things, right? But that wasn't the case this time because he already had moved on. And I'd asked him so many times, did you find somebody else? Can we work this out? He'd always kind of like half-ass, like, I just want to focus on me. Listen, ladies, especially, and men, if your partner ever tells you that they need to take a break and they need to focus on them, they found somebody else. That's like literally a go-to excuse. They always find somebody else, right? So they already have somebody else. So that was what I was always getting. And then you always say, yeah, maybe give it some time and we'll try to, we'll revisit. So always keeping that window open while still keeping you on the hook, right? That's what they do. So what the funny part was, this is the funny part, right? Is we're broken up, right? And he's seeing somebody else. At this point, he's seeing somebody else. And I didn't even know he was seeing somebody else this time. So when he kept saying, why don't you just do you? Why don't you start dating other people, right? So I did. I got I got a Tinder account, which you won't find because it was deleted. By the way, don't go looking for me. So I made like a Tinder account. No, it was a Bumblebee. I made a Bumblebee account, right? And I told one of our mutual friends about it because, like, I was like, yeah, I got on Bumble. I'm gonna start maybe trying to date, get my mind off this or whatever, right? And then the friend, I guess, oh no, he found out that I was on Bumble. Like he saw me on Bumble, and I told him like, yeah, I'm on Bumble. I'm gonna be dating. He's like, oh, you find anyone yet? And I was like, oh yeah, no, like your friend, our mutual friend said I should try Bumble, right? And and his reaction to that was when he found out not only was I on Bumble, right? But when he found out that his friend recommended me get on Bumble and that she knew about it, he had messaged her and was like, you didn't tell me she was on Bumble. And she was like, why do you care? You broke up and you were already seeing somebody else. Mind you, I didn't know it at this point, but that's what she said. She sent me all the fucking conversations after the fact. She's like, bro, this is what was going on. Like, you didn't tell me she was on Bumble. And she was like, why do you care? You guys broke up, right? And you're seeing somebody else. Why do you care? Right? That's what I'm saying, how crazy narcissistic people are. Like, they want to be able to do their thing and see other people, cool, but they also want to keep you on the hook because he had no place to go. He couldn't move out because he had no place to go. He couldn't live with the other chick. He is now, but at the time he couldn't move in with her, so he had no place to go. And that's why he kept me there. But at the same time, like, he said he wanted me to date other people, but then when I was doing that, he would get upset about it. Very, very manipulative and confusing, ain't it? It's very confusing and manipulative. Some girl he worked with hit me up on Snapchat with receipts. The stranger saved my life. Now that's a girl's girl, right? But the sad thing is, like, when you're dealing with a narcissist, the new supply is what they call it, the new supply, the new person in their life, right? They have no idea. They have no idea because they got the same. They're getting the same thing that you got, right? The love bombing, the charismatic stuff, the charming stuff. They got all that in the beginning, and then on top of that, they're already telling you how bad their ex was, and they might even have receipts showing how bad you are based on the reacting to their shit, right? And so this woman already had an idea of me before she even talked to me, before she even got to like she didn't even respond. And that was the thing that made me mad. I was like, you don't even want to know? Nope. Okay, I guess you're just gonna believe him. He's been lying to both of us. You know what I'm saying? But okay, you want to believe him because you probably were showing some videos or showing some screenshots where you had no context behind it But I'm sitting here telling you, you were being played and I was being played. So all this chick thought was I was just this overly obsessed ex-girlfriend trying to get her man's back, when it's like yes and no. Cause like, bitch, I didn't even know you existed for the longest time. I had no idea. It was crazy. And let me tell you, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I go through real shit and I don't care putting it out there. I really don't care. I'm a fucking human being. I'm a person. I'm flawed. I'm flawed too. But like, when I call out these people, because like I said, I have experience with this shit. I don't just talk about these topics because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about a lot of times. I've experienced narcissism. And this dude, Razorfist, 100% gives me those vibes. He did the same thing my ex did to me, but just not so publicly. You know what I'm saying? This is all like, again, even though it's not online, the smear campaign is more for the people close to you. Because what a narcissistic person doesn't want people to do is find out who they really are behind the scenes. Like that clip we watched of Razorfist arguing with his girlfriend, that's who he really is. He don't want people to think like that. So now he's going to try to paint this other woman as the victim. As the villain, and he's the victim, when we damn well probably like just his mannerism. Like, nah, dude, that's just who you are. You like his mask was off when he made that video. That is somebody who 100%, without a questionable doubt, for me personally, my opinion on it, he definitely was verbally abusing that chick. And I guarantee you he was the one putting hands on her and she was putting hands on him responding. Wanting to threaten him with violence is probably just the norm in their household. Because I guarantee you he's probably said similar shit. And then when he has her on a recording and doesn't share the whole context, getting her, baiting her into saying things to make him look innocent, right? Because that's the problem too. They only show you half of the conversation. Like, yes, did I throw a soda can at my ex? 100% I threw that soda can at him. And it hit him right in his fucking head. But it was in a response and a reaction to him calling me the N-word with the hard R at the end. Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I even said to him, I don't think anyone you tell that story to is going to look at me like the bad guy if you told them the truth of why that soda can got thrown at you, bro. You called me a racial slur. And I have plenty of people who can attest to this, because not only would he do it in private, but he would make comments in front of people. He would say that word in front of people, and we would all just laugh it off because, like, you know, we were awkward, and we are just like, oh, he's just playing, bro. Just jokes, bro. But it wasn't just jokes. That's how he really felt. Narcissists also mask the truth in joking. Like if I looked at Monkey Jeebus, like, yo, Monkey Jeebus, you getting mad fat. What have you been eating today? Like, you get fat. I'm starting to think you're unattractive now. And you're in Monkey Jeebus, like, what the fuck? That's kind of rude. Nah, dude, I'm just joking. I'm just messing with you. We cool. I'm just making a joke. Nah, I really was calling you fat, bro. 100% was calling you fat, but I'm going to mask it as a joke so that you don't think nothing of it. That's what my ex does. That's what my ex does. He still does it. He still does it. You are the bad guy, Ray. Violence is not how you deal with problems. Well, sometimes violence isn't the problem. It's a solution. Every action has an opposite and equal reaction. Science, babe. I mean, right. So that's why when it comes to Razorfist, I'm not going to sit here and act like this man is innocent. You know, like I said, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp were both not innocent in that situation. Neither one of them were innocent. The difference here and the problem I had with it is if you both know you both put hands on each other and you both were toxic for each other, ain't no reason why you're going to come out publicly and just say that. Like if she came out and said, yes, Johnny Depp would get into fights with me, he was verbally abusive, and it would make me react to his behavior, maybe people would have believed her more. You know what I'm saying? But like she came out the gate like he was a problem. He was the only one who did it, because I do believe that. And again, I'm not victim blaming, because I know Amber Heard supporters don't like that argument, but it sounds like you're victim blaming. I'm a victim. I'm also a victim, but I'm also somebody who allowed the person who victimized me to make me become somebody I'm not and put hands on somebody when it's not my style. Like I always say, I will throw down. I will 100% throw down. That's the thing. But like I defend myself. You know, and that's the difference. Like I'm defending myself. If you're going to push me and I lose my anger, yeah, I got anger problems. Don't do that. But at the same time, like if you deal with somebody who's constantly abusing you, you're going to get a reaction out of somebody like that. And it's going to be violent. You know, it's going to be violent. I won't even talk about the time I got a knife held up to my neck because I did talk about it. Yeah, that happened too. That happened too. The first real physical altercation I had with that man. It was my fault. 100% own that. I did put hands first, but the response to that was pulling out a kitchen knife and trying to push it like down, like I was holding like a movie scene, bro, like a scary movie scene. I remember this so vividly. I was on the kitchen floor holding this man's hands with the knife pointed down at me while he is applying pressure. And I'm holding this man's hands up like a fucking screaming bloody murder, like a horror film. And yet my dumbass stayed with that man for years to follow, man. Listen, when you're in love, you do stupid things when you're in love. That's why I don't judge women so all the time about staying in abusive relationships. I understand. It's hard. It's hard to break out. It's hard to leave. It's hard to break that cycle, man. It really is. So when people are judging, and I'm sorry if this is a triggering topic for some people. I see some people dipping out. Sorry if it's triggering. Maybe other people are streaming. Y'all going there. But it is a triggering topic, but I it's important to have these discussions because, like, yeah, this is why I do kind of understand sometimes not everything in these relationship discussions are always so black and white. They're really not black and white, guys. And I really wish more people would understand that it's not just black and white. You have to look at the gray areas. You know, both people could be equally responsible for a toxic relationship, with sometimes one person being more responsible than the other. It is possible, and it's fine to acknowledge that. Some people think that I victim blame or I victim shame. I don't do that shit because, again, I am 100% a victim of toxic abusive relationships. Okay, doesn't mean that I can't take some responsibility for my actions and say, yeah, I could have handled things better. I could have walked away, but I didn't, because love blinds you to a lot of shit, man. For 8 years, blinded. You know what I'm saying? And it took me a while to even get back to somewhat normal, right, in a new relationship. And God bless my new partner, because, man, let me tell you, he can tell you firsthand how difficult it was for me to become somewhat normal. I was very awkward. I didn't even know what dating was like anymore. I was never treated very good. I wasn't doing a lot of stuff that like I do with this person. So it was different. It was a whole new experience for me. And it takes a long time. I'm still dealing with it. Like, the fact that I'm talking about now means, I mean, I can talk about it without crying and shit, but like, I still think about all that time. That's 8 years of my life. That's 8 years with somebody that you loved and cared about, only to find out that all meant nothing. You know what I'm saying? That all meant nothing, because how can somebody be in a relationship with you and treat you like that? Like with Razorfist and that girl, that clip was absolutely disgusting, because how can you have somebody come all the way to be with you and stay with you and you treat them like that? What is the purpose? If you don't want that, then don't be with somebody. Be single. Be single. You know, it's really that simple. If you don't want to be with somebody, be single. But too many people out here want to take advantage and use people, and because they have nothing else. You are dependent on somebody else to give you whatever it is you fucking need until they're no longer useful to you. So that's it, guys. That's all I got for today. I don't know what's gonna happen with this Razorfist situation, but yeah, it's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But thank you guys for being here with me. I appreciate y'all. Let's see, what's today? Today is Thursday. So yeah, we'll probably stream tomorrow about something. Maybe we'll talk about some other things. Hopefully not dive into my personal life, my fucking trauma, and my bullshit. Man, I'm way too open on YouTube, man. I can't wait for people that fucking suck this up and take all the shit I said out of context. If I was split with mine for some reason, I'm done with relationships. I said that too after I dealt with what I dealt with. But if I mean, like I said, it sucks, it happens, but sometimes you find somebody who you want to, move on with. We'll see. I'm too honest too, but people in the past have used me being too open about my personal life against me. Like when I talked about my depression and my dark thoughts, people were like, "Oh, she's suicide baiting," and I'm like, "I'm not suicide baiting. I'm talking about things that I'm not afraid to talk about with people who also feel the same way. It's not baiting, dude. It's literally just having discussion." So, anyways, That's all I got for today, guys. Y'all have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I might hop on FrogTony's and harass him while he's doing his stream. But you guys be safe. Be good to each other. And much love.
Hey, everybody, thank you for supporting me. All your money is gonna go to my bubble tea. When I wake up in the morning, first thing I do is say hello. Check on my channel, see how it's growing. You know you can help me grow. So make sure you support the channel. Hey, everybody, thank you for supporting me. All your money is gonna go to my bubble tea. Hey, everybody, thank you for supporting me. All your money is gonna go to my bubble tea. Check my comments every morning to see what the fans have to say.
By the way, we did not reach the goal, guys. We did not reach the goal, but it's okay. Appreciate y'all anyway. Appreciate Lunchbox for all the donations. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for the support on my channel, guys. Okay, bye. Bye.
All your money is gonna go to my bubble tea. Hey, everybody, thank you for supporting me. All your money is gonna go to my bubble tea. Comments every morning to see what the fans have to say. And you know that I love my supporters, and I hope that you have a good day. Thank you for the support on my channel. Hey, everybody, thank you for supporting me. All your money is gonna go to my bubble tea. Hey, everybody, thank you for supporting me. All your money is gonna go to my bubble tea.